time comes, because I'm a religious person, I know when I pass away and on Judgment Day, for example, I'm going to be held accountable for my actions in this life. I want to be at least be able to turn around and say, well, I never stayed silent. You know what I mean? I stood up, I said what I need to do. And that's all everybody needs to do, just that little bit. And I'm going to remind everybody one more time, there are more sisters out there, more mothers out there, more females out there fighting this real war today in the United Kingdom, in Wales, in Scotland, in Ireland. Where are the men? And I'm praying that you men understand that, reason with that. It's not about talk shows, it's about coming together. Let's start getting people together, wake everybody in every town and city, where we could just like that create 30, 40, 50,000 strong in every town for a football match. We should be able to do that just like that for our sons and daughters in our towns and cities where this is going on, so we can deal with it. I hope that makes sense. Let's hang on. Neo, Kali, are we all right to go over a little bit? What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Why don't the people in the comments, if you want to stay on, put a 1 in the comments. See what they say, Rangy.
Yeah, okay, we'll put it in the comments. Yeah, so if people in the comments, if you want us to keep going, I'm more than happy. And if anybody wants to jump on in and out, by all means, feel free. So Lawson will go to 1 o'clock. I presume that's 1 o'clock. Is that right?
1 p.m. That's 1 p.m. tomorrow.
Look, long as you look at the end of the day, look, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. If it means doing an all-nighter, as long as I can keep my phone charged, because I've literally had my phone plugged in all the way through right now. Yeah. And we could just keep going. At the end of the day, look, if we can't help and support today our babies going through these things, I really don't know what kind of push you need to do anything else, because this is the root cause of everything, the root issues of, or the root excuse, or the reasons for you to stand up today. That's one thing I am going to say to you, okay? Stay strong, get active. 100%, my brother, 100%. Okay, so let's continue the conversation. I know, Rafia, sister, you've been quite a little while. Let's start with you. Is there anything that you wanted to add on or ask a question? Feel free to do so. Anybody that wants to ask any questions that might not want to come on, just ask the question in the comments. I'm sure the mods will pick it up and they'll ask it, or we'll try to do as we are. Rafia, sister? Rafia, sister, don't tell me you fell asleep.
A quick one. Just a quick one. Whereabouts, or how many are actually coming into the UK through calling themselves asylum seekers? You know, no passport, but you know, like I said, the 2.5 year contract for UN. When this all comes out, and there's going to be a few people. You know, if it gets to it, hopefully it not. But if it gets to the, you know, we're under conscription, then we go to Ukraine. But then there's not America and there's not Russia they wanted peace still, but it was the Ukrainians that actually kicked it off, you know, inside an hour, which is done by the West. Yeah. And with it all happening, you know, the people are actually getting dragged into cars and vans, whatever this is in that country, to fight, which basically they're just, you know, depopulise it. Well, at the minute, the people that are coming in, they all stay in the hotels, they've been looked at, and it's principle that the people that worked here, paid all the bills, everything else, it's like, oh, we don't care about you no more, but we want these people. Well, I think people are starting to wake up. It ain't nothing to do with religion, it's nothing to do with blood, it's nothing to do with colour. It's to do with a corporation. There's one in Washington, which is connected to Columbia. And then there's obviously London, and then they're all connected to Europe and the Commonwealth, which it goes on and on and on. Now, when this starts happening, which they say it's going to be a day of the 2nd of April, so I don't know what that day is now, but it's going to be a little while. But when that starts happening, what is actually going to be what's the people that hasn't seen a lot happen in the last, say, 2-3 years? How is it going to affect them? Because they didn't know.
Yeah, well, this is the thing, you see. No, I'm glad you mentioned that, because this is where the part of the distraction has been happening in the UK. So this is a part of the divide and conquer as well. So, with the immigration, there is an issue. There is a problem. There is genuine situations that needs to be looked at, to be dealt with. And we know it's being done and orchestrated by the same corporate companies. So that's just one, for example. And then there's another groups out there talking about 5G, and this is genuine, this is real as well. I totally agree with it. Then you've got these vaccines. This is another genuine thing. So you have at least 50% of the population that are being divided in different topics, but leading to the destruction of the future of our homes, our children. The thing that what we need to do is like what you just said. This is not about color, creed, religion, title. This is about unity. They are only going to keep going on with this to win because they're keeping us apart. If we start coming together, it is game over for them. And all these topics we're talking about, we can resolve, but we can't resolve them one by one. Because look, there's so many. It's like even the farmers. That's a major one. A lot of people simply just don't get it. They think, farming, because they're so used to going to friggin' Lidl or Asda or Morrison's. Well, I get some tin food. Yeah, well, that's not the real thing. You are natural, grown from your own land, proper things, not that have been, a lot of these have actually been manufactured, you see, and these are issues, these are problems. So if people could come together, which is all we need, and don't get me wrong, within this, you do know there's a lot of professionals within whether councillors, mayors, MPs, police, social services, school teachers, a lot of people are coming together. People seem to think it's everybody. And this is where I don't want to go down that route, because it's not everybody. Because if you start thinking like that, you're not going to start uniting anybody. You're actually dividing people. And I want to win these people over, because when the shit settles tomorrow, don't we want to look? It's like one of my videos I did in Middlesbrough. And I said that, I'm coming out to take out the trash, but all the good socials stay strong. Stand fast, because when we take out the trash, I need them to pick up the pieces to what's left to fix the issues and problems, which we do need. We still need the system, but the system can't be controlled by them. It's got to be transparent, and it's got to be controlled by the public. Not them control the public, is we got to control them. Remember, our law is supposed to be us telling the government what we want, not the government telling us what they want. And that's the route that we've actually gone down. And it's shocking. Anybody else that wanted to add anything, please feel free. Let's just crack on. I've only put it on this small screen, by the way, because I could get another 2 people on if anybody wanted to join in. Just it gives everybody enough time.
Just another quick one. I don't know if anybody knows, but I knew that inside minutes, not that I was there, but there was an earthquake this was yesterday, earthquake in Bangkok, in Thailand.
Yeah, I think I've seen hotels with swimming pools splashing on the water.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I've seen a little bit about that.
Mm-hmm. So that's one. Then there's another little one, I think. Where was the next one? I don't know. I mean, it's just stuff that people don't hear about or know about. It's extra stuff that if they did know about, then they learn that there's a lot more going on than they know.
No, yeah, well, that's, like I say, another issue and problems, which I agree with, because, this messing about with weather is a real thing. So I think people need to wake up to these things. But like I said, these are all the topics, everything is about the whole system causing these issues and problems, and we want to give our liberties, our power away to them, submit to them for them to protect us, and yet they're the ones that are creating it. This is the shameful part of it, actually. It is quite a shocking part, but it is happening. Let me just get... hang on, let me start with, I think it's... let me get the person connected. I think it's Hope. Hope.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Hope. Firstly, thank you very much for joining us. Is there anything that you wanted to... Is there a question or a comment or something, feedback you wanted to give or say?
I just popped in. I'm just listening. I've got a lot to say, but I don't want to say it. Because I don't want to get ridiculed.
No,
I feel you.
the truth is the truth. You'd be okay though. But do it in little manners, obviously, because we all love TikTok. That's it.
No, that's the difference, though. Listen, go speak to somebody else before I get the guts to say something.
Okay, just hang fire. But just remember...
I'm a shy woman. I won't say I'm a girl. I'm a woman. I'm an old enough woman. And I'm, a bit shy to open my opinion sometimes because, okay.
Oh, that's all right. Just hang fire. I just want you to know that I
You.
won't let
Let me listen a
anybody...
bit more.
No, that's fine. That's fine, sister. That's fine. You got the full respect of everybody. That's fine. If you just put yourself on mute, Liddy, let me just get you in, young man.
All right there. Hi, everyone.
I'm okay, young man. How are you?
Yes, and just tired. Just to say one thing, since the earthquake was mentioned, that's the Schumann frequency, resonant frequency, has already spiked the last couple of weeks. So as there's geomagnetic anomalies, they're spiking, especially in UK, and there's a lot of people who are sensitive to energy levels. They're having sleep issues the last couple of weeks. But that's what happens. Causes the earthquakes and what have you. So that's the side. The other thing I think was said, which just got out of my brain, being late at night. There's issues. If there's issues, and I've managed to put some of my videos clips on my was it a story or whatever. And you will see, I've put them on with two suns in the sky. There's multiple videos, but you're talking about HARP and stuff. There's actually videos of the radar systems actually zapping in US. But if you have to go there,
I know you know. Was there any fire in? I know you'd know. Was there any fire in the north of Wales?
I don't watch. I haven't watched the TV for about.
No, not TV.
Years.
It wouldn't be shown on TV anyway. But it's something that happened, and principally it was not a hot place. It wasn't like Florida or Los Angeles, but it's like there was one there, and there was one somewhere else as well. And everybody's saying, "Well, how could that happen?" Because it's very, very dry there. No, it's not. It's pure. It's pure wild. It's real. And for that to have
the energy,
You just sound like William Butch.
Yeah, the direct energy weapons that some people might call it, DAW. But they have a whole lot of things in their toolkit. I used to watch a channel, but he got pushed out of all platforms. And the guy used to follow, and he used to be able to say whenever there was an earthquake beforehand, or wherever there was going to be drought or very hot weather. For instance, in Portugal, there was the heat wave, they said. And he used to be able to predict it. And the reason, not because he used to know anything else, but he used to follow satellites, special secret satellites he used to follow. And they used to orbit at certain locations for a few days. And he used to be able to say, okay, this one is called this, it was the Catalina. Two of them are called Catalina, different numbers. And they used to cause heat waves. So they would circle in an area, and it would be like microwave, and they would change the energy, the weather patterns, and they would cause heat wave. So if they wanted heat waves, that's what they would create. all these satellites, there's thousands of them going up there, but
Do you know what? I actually little bit believe in that, to be fair.
Well, it's because it's
Because
fact.
there's nothing in this lifespan that they wouldn't actually or couldn't do, to be fair. How? All right. It is possible, and it is possible. Come on, guys.
Okay, I'll just say one thing to everybody.
Come on, guys. I look, right, I'm a stargazer. Not much, but when I do, right, and I see some little flickers and stuff in the sky, and I think, oh, that's my mum. You know, I see a little shooting star. And then obviously the pouring out of his gas from rocket where it span around. Did you see that on the news, by the way?
Yeah.
We all thought we'd
just a
been
quick one.
invaded because nobody told us that was coming. We only knew that because we got told that after the word. Does that make sense, sir? Come on,
Yeah,
guys.
it does. Log, sorry, go ahead, Log.
Right, a quick
Yes.
one.
So if you go
I've
on,
been to
is it?
I've been to a
What's the
country.
riddle?
I've
Go on,
been,
Log.
I've been to
We
a
don't know
country,
what they're planning.
and obviously, you know, I've been in different countries. It's very different around the world. But in this country, it's a very
Very
poor
different.
country, and when they listen, then people learn. But anyway, in this poor country, I was offered a job there, and it's very cold. Well, it rained a lot because I'm talking about a country called Dubai. Now in
Oh, I
Dubai,
thought
there
it
was
was
a little.
in England then, mate. When you say rained a lot.
Yeah, there's been floods there. Yeah.
Yes,
The
thank
weather
you.
modification.
Thank
Just
you.
one at a time. Log,
What it
finish up.
is obviously the people that don't want to know or they over-talk people, then they don't know. Simple. So the point of it is for £20 million, which is only not a lot of money in Dubai because, you know, there's people with a couple of Rolls-Royce, Bentleys, Ferraris, Lamborghinis, and it goes on. But then principally that cost 20 million and they had a little bit of water there, which was rain. But in reality, that is cold there because it is only 45 degrees. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
It cost about 2 billion in insurance claims because all the sports cars, they were all got flooded in the car parks.
There we go.
Yeah, there was two. Yeah, but the thing is, generally speaking, all the areas in the Arabia and Sudan and Ethiopia, North Africa, they're actually getting a lot of rain. And
Yeah.
they put the biggest dam in Sudan, South Sudan, I think it was. They built it. They had to start building it many years ago, and they just completed it. But it was one of the driest places on the planet, and everyone was thinking, "How is this going to fill up?" And guess what? Suddenly, there's huge amounts of rain because the weather is changing on the planet, and because we're going into a mini ice age. And that's one of the reasons they want the whole world events is coming along because it's a cyclical thing. And they've been telling people it's opposite. They're saying that it's warming, but it's going to get very cold.
0% climate. Yeah.
So what's happening?
Bullets in English. Know what I mean?
Yeah. So what's happening? Northern Canada, a lot of parts of Russia, a lot of Northern Europe and stuff is going to be on there with ice. So there's no growing breeze.
Little holes get away then, is it?
Yeah. But there won't be there won't be enough food. So what they're doing is that they're going for reduction of population beforehand because they know what's coming.
Exactly. We know what that's all about.
Feed everyone. So what they're doing is actually getting rid of the people before the people rise from hunger. Because when people are hungry, they will do whatever.
It's about time we should stick together and get rid of them wankers before they get rid of us.
Well, that's what the whole system of social score, all this digital stuff. You have an avatar. Every one of us has an avatar on this supercomputers, and it'll have a psychological profile attributed to it according to all your posts and all your comments. So they will know who are the key figures, and so you have to. That's why I have been off social media for all these years, but I have had to get on. Because I need to connect with people with regards to these social services.
Without social media for so long, right? So now you have to expect us to live with social media, right? We've gone literally years, lots of years without social media, and now you're trying to say that we can't live without it. Come on.
Well,
Get a grip.
you know how many hours you spend
a
on your
grip.
social media.
No, because what you're doing, right, a lot of these people on social media, all they do is pass hate to each other. Why can't you pass love to each other? There's a difference, right?
Yeah, sister, let me answer that one for you.
No,
So,
don't call me sister. I'm not your fucking sister.
whoa.
Drinking.
I'm not your sister.
Nah, she's got to go.
Yeah, she's got to go.
Bro,
Look, I've
I
just
just
been-
said this. She's a drunk from last time, bro. I can't stand that woman. I'm sorry, and I don't like being rude. She's very vile. Just keep her off, man, if you can, bro.
She should just be sober when she's talking.
She's chasing views, man.
Yeah.
And followers.
So about the food, has anyone realized that the food for the last 2-3 years has changed and things don't go off?
Yeah, stuff goes.
It's all
There's
artificial, I
there's
think.
a lot that's going off at the moment.
But it doesn't go off.
Let me just add one thing, sorry about the social media, just so everybody else understands. Yeah, we didn't have social media in the past. We had propaganda from the fake newses, which is being indoctrinating us. So now we have social media. You could use it in two ways. You could do it in negatives, or like what we're doing, we're uniting, we're putting positives out there. We're trying to love and care about each other. And this was the message I was actually trying to say to that person, but fortunately it didn't work, which is fine. You know what I mean? So it's a tool. It's a tool. It's how you use the tool. This is what I'm going to say with that. But Mr. Too Busy for You, could you, because I'm not sure where Neo's gone, because I've just, you know, I've had a few coffees. I just need to go to the little boys' room. Can you all just crack on, Mr. Too Busy? Just, you've got obviously the mod, keep hold of everything and continue what you're doing. Keep up.
That's fine, brother. No worries. Inshallah. Yeah, that's fine.
Yes. So anyway, if anyone, I'm still trying to find a way to sue a solicitor, not the solicitor, sue the social worker, but actually we need to put it together and actually.
Have you put an
go for it.
inquiry in on LCS news?
I haven't. I put in
You know what? I
tickets
think the first step would
support
be-
and whatever.
Sorry?
Yeah, I have put stuff that
I'll
going to
just
support.
add that on for you. Lodi is actually going to be joining the team, actually.
Okay.
It's getting done right now, which is a good thing. Neo, you just put a request there. Put a request back on. Mr. Too Busy will just get you in. I'll just be a few minutes. But keep up. I'll be back.
Yeah, so this is what I'm trying to do. Then I'll have to do a particulars of claim, and I have to go against the social worker, and then I have to. I got enough stuff to go to SRA to try to see if I can disbar the council's solicitor, the one that is actually been writing reports for the social workers. The social workers write things, and she doesn't like it. Then she goes and changes it. But I think I've managed to get something on that. So that's definitely a no-no. And what I found out is that whatever happens in the court for recitals, they just write their own thing, and then they give it to these companies. Sorry?
Yeah, they're storytellers. They just make up as they go along
But
to fit them.
when we
to
go
suit them.
when we go to court, in court, for instance, they say 5 apples, right? The judge says 5 apples. Then the person acting for the council goes away, and then when we get the recitals of what happened in court, it'll be saying 3 bananas. And we'll be saying, it's not 3 bananas. The judge says 5 apples. And
legally.
yeah, well, no. Literally, if the judge says, for instance, we want the council to disclose this and that document, and when we get the recital of what the judge says, it's not there. So then I found out that when you follow the metadata and whatever of the documents, then I found out that the solicitor writes her own thing, that she thinks that it should be, not what the judge said. Then some barrister, there was different barristers from different parts of the country. I think they just do it online. They actually draft the whole thing, and then the judge just type out the judge's name at the bottom, and he's just happy. He doesn't want to read. He doesn't want to read. You know what I mean? He's just lazy, so he doesn't even check what's been written. But the council literally does exactly what it wants, and they drafts everything. You know that. Even if the judges didn't say it, they just drafted the way they want.
Do you know what to do afterwards? They blame it on the judges. So whatever they get, the shit they get into, and then people, you know, try to sue them and whatnot. They say it's the judge's fault. The judges put the order in, blah blah blah. But the judges doesn't know because they just sign it, like you said. They sign blindly. And afterwards, they get blamed for it. It's the same way, like, you know.
Because he's got immunity, so they use his immunity.
Yep.
That's what they do. So. And so the thing is that, this is what I'm just trying to get as much, but I'm going to turn around. I don't know if it's going to work, because if it's a 99% success rate for the local authority, it makes no difference if you work with them or not. So might as well fight them. That's the way I see it. Because even if I bend backwards, it doesn't make any sense. It won't make any difference. They will just do what they want. So, and the typical narcissist, abusive, the bastards, I'm sorry for swearing, but that's what they are. They will literally project anything they do onto the parents. Or harm projected on the parents. They do the cause, the harm, whatever. But I'm just trying to find the tech to do things that other people haven't done already. Because if other people have done stuff, then they're not successful. There's no point me trying it. I just want to. That's where I'm coming from. You know.
Do you know what, these people? They think they're above the law. That's what it is. Because the law that's for us, you know, for the public and that, it doesn't really apply to these guys anyway. Like, there should be a separate law, which someone else, you know, puts the laws in place and governs them. You know, who sets laws for the people that?
To tell you one law. I know a few. But the first one that started for us, all of us here in this country and around the world, was in 1215, and then originally the main one was 1678, 79, and that is for us, the people. Now, I know a lot, but principally people didn't have at that time solicitors that are into soliciting. Barristers are part of a show. They're above, as in they got connections. The main thing I'd like to say is magistrate courts. I think they've only had 10 because a guy I know, you know, he's top. So he's closed 10, and he's going to be closing a few more. He's done a letter to a little one in London. I think it was Justice Courts up in London. So when it all starts coming out that the whole system is of corruption, the law that they can't change was done by a guy that was in 1215, was it 1015? Oh no, it'd have been 1215. That is a fact. So
are you talking about the Magna?
Sorry?
Are you talking about the Magna?
Yes, exactly right. Because it's not to do with the bank with Rothschild and you know, I want to owe you and all this. It's to do with real facts, you know.
Yeah. But the Constitution, they destroyed it.
Well,
do you watch
it's not been
full
destroyed.
English?
Yeah. What it is with it? Yeah. For what it is that people have been fooled into doing the system what it is. You know, you got to pay national insurance, you got to pay tax. It goes on, and with an act, which I said it yesterday. I think Rangy would remember. I said, you know, Romeo, who are you? Romeo, because it was a Shakespeare thing that he was, they'd see it as poetry or into acting, but it was from that process that they made Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, and now in this country alone, there's only 25 a year that they can just make new laws under Act. But in reality, the people know they're stronger than the actual government, because government I don't trust. I don't trust the government.
Yeah,
There's nobody in the government I trust.
yeah, the things that most people think, if you actually ask them, they just brainwash. If you ask them, what does the government do? And they think the government owns everything. The government says, no, the government doesn't own anything. The government just spends the money. They're the trustees. They're the trustees for the people, supposedly, to do the right thing and spend the right money and not to, to waste it. But they're actually been corrupted, and they've been this been hijacked by that square mile in the middle of London, for a long time ago. So, but people don't understand. And the closest thing I can think of is that at some stage in the past, I'm not going to go to all the details, we are in a ledger system. And on a ledger, you got the debts and the credit. And what they've done, they've put the public, which are actually the creditors, onto the debtor side. So that's why we are using debt notes. We think it's money, which is a promissory note, it's a debt. So this is what's happening. We have been put onto the debt side, and we've been in an illusion that we are actually using money, where it's actually debt instruments all through. And everybody works all their life and pays into this, the energy, life energy, and it actually goes onto the credit side for them. And that's why the debt system is built in a way that has to collapse. So when you look at the dollar, for instance, or the pound, it's around for the last 80 years or something. It's only worth 2 or 3% of what it was. So it's lost 96% of its value the last 80 years. So it's going to go. It has to go to zero. And that's why they're borrowing all this thing, because it's going to flip into the asset, sort of real asset, sort of backed system. So I mean, everything, they're bringing everything close to the collapse, and it's all to do with the solar cycles, Earth cycles, and they all know all this. It's already been in the historical other prior civilizations and stuff. So they're bringing it all to have a big grand sort of event, and in the process get rid of all the people who were the debtors. If the creditors, if all the creditors die, then guess what? Their assets, they don't, So that's what they need to, every so often, kill a whole lot of people, and then take from the credit side, take the money. It gets very complicated because it's built. We are born into the illusion of the debt side realm. So it takes time to actually grasp it and stand above it to see it. So anyway, but I'm blabbering on about it
also. I think I tried to point out last night, but there's a few councils that have gone bankrupt. And that's all corporations, same as it is with what would it be? The one in London that, when you ask them, they can't lie to you, they tell you the truth. But then everything, when you think about it, even to DWP, all limited companies. Because years ago, maybe DWP, the people that understand this was on YTS. And it was the same system, but then on YTS you got £27.50 or something a week. That was years ago. But it's the same system now. It's like our own money they're using. They're using us for our money. People are not starting to wake up to it anyway. There's nobody in the system I trust. The biggest ones that I really trust the best are Rothschilds, Rockefellers. Soros is brilliant, and it goes on and on. Now, the whole point of it is, I don't know whereabouts in the world where Zion is, but it's somewhere where people got to wake up that why all these wars are happening continuously. Not one person in this country, in the UK, in England, let's say, just one part of England, just say in England, did not vote to have a war with Ukraine. But then that started 2014. That's been going on years. That's to do with America, to do with something to do with the jabs. You know, the mate where they make stuff. Same as with that lovely bloke,
Yeah,
Bill
there
Gates.
was.
He's a really nice bloke.
Yeah, there was.
And he
Yeah,
was in Ukraine, making the wheat bad, and then when it was going to go out, they said no, it can't go here, and then they tried to put it over in Poland, and Poland went no because they do tests on it. But then they should trust Bill Gates because it's food, isn't it?
Yeah, there was 13 places that see. Let me see. My eyes sort of see eyes had 13 places in Ukraine next to the border with Russia, and that the
Yeah.
first thing that Russia got a hit was those with a special type of bombs as well that actually sucks the stuff up and then ignites it rather than explode in one go. So they knew that they didn't trust those 13 labs, put it that way. They must have been making Christmas cards for Russians. But yeah, so yes, they've been, unfortunately, I've seen a guy, his name was, I can't remember, Richard somebody. He's a Dutch guy. He was a banker, ex-banker. And he used to help the certain the bad guys, help them with their money. And he had some videos, and he actually he was saying how they would bring in trucks, like a proper big trucks, full to the top with cash, and they would just say, right, wash this, right, and he would have to do it. And he says he was very good at it, and he was getting everything he wanted. And he, at some time he had to leave. He couldn't do it anymore because they had to ask him to to do stuff with the kids, kill them and all sorts. So sacrifice on that. So he left, but he had to suffer for it. But what he said, he was very pertinent. He said, if all the intelligence agencies were squashed tomorrow, there'd be no war, no conflict, nothing.
Exactly.
Everything would stop. So the people that are actually doing it, where they are from, there are these alphabet agencies. And when you look at their emblems, it's all to do with occult, right? And people think all of them are to protect the people. They're not there to protect the people. They're protect to their leaders, and the leaders, unfortunately, are, very closely connected to Satan.
Well, yeah, I love Ukraine because it reminds me the colours, blue and yellow, just reminds me sometimes of the police and it's weird, and it's not just in this country; it's happening around the world. I think April the 2nd is going to be a day. I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but if it starts off as it's going to, then what's going to happen is the police are not, because the police don't even know. Nobody knows. It's all kind of going to get planned to, as I think, I don't call it King, but let's say Charlie, when he said Davos a couple of years ago, he said, there's going to be a depopulation in the UK, which he calls
Yes. The Deagle, Deagle.com.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was already on the cars. They already knew that. I met some Saudis, I don't know if I said this before, about 35 years ago. And these Saudis, they were saying to me that there's going to be Sharia law in UK. 35 years ago, the Saudi was pumping money into the system to get things done, but it do not. It's the certain group.
What's happened to his volume there?
Certain groups is actually using world. So, but that group is not neither Muslim or Christian, if you know what I mean. But they're a special group of, they got usually wear small hats and sometimes cubes, black cubes on their arms. It's called flackery. I don't know if people know about that.
Oh.
Black cubes on your arms. Yeah, it's called flackery. That's what they used to wear when they left the pharaohs, Egypt.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, Neil, what were you going to say there?
Sorry, just saying it's the cube worship of Saturn.
Yes.
The 8 points in time and space, yeah.
Yes, it's Saturn. Isn't that strange? There was a Transformers as well. It was the cube, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. And
Okay, I'll tell you what. Can we just get the other ones mixed in a little bit, just in case they probably want to get a word in? Rafia, sister, can we start with you? Is there anything that you wanted to add on, sister, with anything that we've been talking about? Oh, I forgot she might have fell asleep.
She can't.
Mr. Too Busy, find out if she's fell asleep, will you?
Thanks women because they sleep. We don't. You're right. We all sleep.
Yeah, sorry. While he's finding out what's happening with the MI83, brother, is there anything you wanted to add on to in general with the topics in hand?
Yeah, I was going to say to you, obviously I've got my own business, mate. I'm more supporting the local community than anything. I was going to ask you, your lot, who are involved in this, your team there, could I get stuff printed? I spoke to my wife. She's got like that free print thing. Could I, to spread awareness for your campaign, could I pay for the? Could you would it be all right for you to send me? Would you send me a template of your details of how people can contact or get on your lives or whatever? And I'll go and print it and go and hand them out around my area.
Yeah, that flyer that's on Rangy's thing at the moment, that's printable from the website. If you go to the website, you can download that in high quality and print it off on any printer.
How do I do that?
Just go to lcs.news, search the site for that poster that you're seeing on where Rangy's face should be at the moment.
Yeah.
And you can see then on the bottom right-hand corner, you can click a button and it says download. And that will download a real high-quality version of it for you.
Is it all right to do that?
Yeah, that's on the first page.
Well, I'm going to get to do that Monday for me. I know what the last thing I was going to say was what I was talking about last. These judges and courts and social services, I was, before I found out about you lot and the involvement with the social services, I couldn't imagine this was actually going on. Honestly, I couldn't imagine. But one thing I did realise was the courts are controlled by the councils.
Yes.
And the courts control the councils. No, the councils control the courts, sorry. And
they're all connected.
The councils control the courts, and the social services are the council, or they work for the council. So they basically are the council, aren't they? So social services basically control the courts. Copy and pasting is a common thing that I'm hearing. Copy and pasting, manufacturing the documents. That's what's gone on in mine. Judges overruling the laws, they're overruling the very laws they're meant to be a part. They're not allowed to go over the line that they're meant to be doing. They're not allowed to do that. And then also, what I have found out, the high courts won't even get involved of a judge's ruling. They won't, even though they're committing a criminal offence. They're committing a crime. So it makes me wonder how much. I actually kind of I've got a very good idea of how much influence these social services have on the courts over judges, but who's ruling the councils, the social services? That's the question I have.
Be the same corporation as a guest.
I was gonna say exactly what Law said. It's actually not the social workers, it's actually the corporate company that has the control. But just to add on one thing, when you're downloading that poster, what might be good is, do you want the evidence to back it up as well? If you'll be on live anyway, drop me your email and we'll send you the evidence as well. So when you get the evidence, then you're not only speaking about it, telling people about it, you could back it up with evidence in front of you.
Yeah, I'll do it 100%, mate, because the only thing I can do, like that guy just said, 99% chance the odds are stacked against us. our kids are going to our families anyway, so we're good. They're not going into these demonic. I don't really want to say, but the only thing I can do now is cause damage towards them in any way that I possibly can to kind of get justice. Because the one thing I will say is, this is what I've forgotten. Sorry, it's me, ADHD. If there's any social workers listening, you need to be mindful about what a social worker said to me. That it kind of did make a lot of sense. This is a whistleblower social worker. I asked, why are you telling the truth? She inboxed me out of nowhere. I talk to her sometimes, and she said, I can't have this on my conscience. I did not imagine what is actually really going on. She's not involved in any of your groups. I've asked her to become them. She's suffering from severe depression. She really is. She's really bad. Now they're saying that she's got mental health problems, and what she's experienced, she didn't experience. The very system that she worked for and represented all of her life, she's an older lady, she's now being targeted by them and saying she's got mental health problems.
Correct.
And it's just, that's one thing I will say to them. If there's social workers listening and you're being complicit and you know something's wrong and you're not saying anything, and what we've been talking about is the damage it's actually causing, do you really want this on your conscience? That's all I've got to say.
Yeah, very well said. Well.
Yeah, so I'm going to add one more thing. One of the things the social workers do need, and they need our support as well, because I've experienced this enough time where social workers have been repeatedly sacked. So they need to know that, look, you're not alone. We will also defend you. We will also speak up with you, for you. You know what I mean? Doing the right thing is what this is all about. We've got to support each other. Doesn't matter, even if it's a police officer, it doesn't matter who it is. We need to do the right thing to support each other. Everything else doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. But they need to know, because one of the issues I had when I was going through it, every single social worker was getting sacked, removed, sent on the sick. They were isolated again and again. And then I stopped telling them to do much, or letting them do much. So I was just saying to them, look, okay, do what you need to do, report what you can, and leave the rest to me. Wait till we get it into the courts, which is... and that takes a hell of a battle to try to get into court. Trust me, it's a constant form of neglect. But the social workers need to know that we've got their back as well. We are going to support them. You know what I mean? Doing the right thing, we've got to come together. This is irrelevant or regardless of whether it's a public member or a government body. Doing the right thing, we all need to stick together. And this is the only way that I believe that we're going to make a change. Mr. Too Busy for You, are you still there, young man? Mr. Too Busy, are you still there?
Raffia, Sandman, mate.
I think he's still there, because he won't fall asleep straight away. I think Rafia's sister's gone. Rafia, are you still there, sis? If you're there, I'm just going to drop you, just in case. So let me just drop her then. She wants to come back up, she could just request. It's not an issue. If anybody wants to get back or get into the boxes, please feel free to request to get up. I know there's a number of people that probably want to get up. You don't need to be worried. It's a safe place. And, long as we're not arguing or criticizing, condemning each other, because this is not what it's about. It's about us coming together. I want to remind everybody this is about our children. If you look at the poster on the top left-hand side box, our children are going through these crimes. Our sisters, our daughters, our mothers, and our little baby boys as well. Okay, men are going through the same issue males are. And we need to stand up for this. We can't no longer sit around and think that this is normal. They're trying to normalize it. It's not going to happen on our watch. And, I went through this a little bit last night. I think it was Mr. M.I. On the Zoom. That if one of the main reasons we need to stand today is if we stand today, we could try to make a change. But if we don't stand today, our children tomorrow won't know how to stand up for themselves. Just remember what I just said there. they will not know how to stand because there's a lot of propaganda going on, a lot of control going on, indoctrination going on in the schools, education. So we need to show them that we can stand up. But there's a right way of doing it. We don't want to go into violence. I don't promote that. Exposing them should be perfect. I mean, we should go for every single one of them. It doesn't really matter. So this is something that I do 100% believe in. You know what I mean? And doing the right thing can't be a crime now, can it? You know what I mean? So I'm going to leave it at that and let's just continue. If anybody wanted to get in the boxes, request, let's get you in.
As well for us all. When did the Queen run out of her sovereignty? Because I know for a fact that after she had a limit of when she become Queen, not that she was a bad Queen, but when she was a Queen, she had 40 days to sign the sovereignty, and the sovereignty ran out in 2000 something. So the factor is how did the King Charles become the king?
It was March 23rd, 2001.
Thank you. Boom. There we go.
She also wasn't coronated properly anyway because she wasn't on the correct stone.
Yeah.
So it's all illegitimate. She signed the contract at the top, not the bottom. So it made it null and void. But shh, don't tell anyone.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah. That little city in London has taken over a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're the British. They're the British.
The British,
Correct, not the English.
British.
In an Israel language, which should be Hebrew, Arabic, whatever. It is Ishbrit.
Yeah, Hebrew. It's men of covenant. But which men of covenant? The ones that do funny handshakes?
Yeah, that. Yeah, Masons.
Yeah.
On the 33.
Yeah, makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, you know,
so the British.
You mentioned about London now, the city of London. So people need to wake up. The city of London is not even part of the United Kingdom, yet it's controlling England. Have a good think about that. We've actually got foreign people, nothing to do with UK at all, actually telling us what to do, making our laws, breaking them, doing what they want. And this has to stop. This can't be tolerated, and we can't just go along with it. It doesn't make no sense whatsoever now.
Yeah, I had an argument, not an argument, debate with a barrister who thought whatever I say is a conspiracy theory. So I said to him about the City of London, and he was saying no, and I says where is the Bank of England? And then he's obviously says City of London. He says so that's they're not part of England or UK. Might as well just put it in North Korea. Why would England or UK would have its central bank in North Korea? He just shut up because it makes no sense to have all the influential, like the exchange, metal exchange and all them to be in that square mile, which is not part of the UK. Why would you have it?
Speak very good language. I'll just say bonjour.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a quick one, Debbie, you just come in the box. I hope everything's all right, but if you wanted to get in, feel free to request and get yourself in. It's not a problem. And thank you very much for your support. It really means a lot. I hope people are paying attention to all the topics in general, what is actually happening. We need to deal with these matters. And hopefully people understand the message here all the time is together we win, divided we fall. We need to start uniting. Put your differences aside if there is any. We all love our children. We all love our community. We all love our daughters, sisters, mothers, wives, grandmothers. And that's where the vulnerability is. That's where the target is. And we need to stand together to deal with it. But yeah, let's just keep going. Also, let's get back to Mr. Too Busy for You. Are you still there with us? He's a great man, but last night I was on his live, he fell asleep. A few nights ago.
I'm going to give him a code there and go.
Yeah, that's why he's muted himself. You can't hear it.
Can I just say something? Because this is the stuff I was actually going to say about half an hour ago. I got a sense of how the police, the doctors, the nurses, the social services, the council work, the whole lot seems to have been pushed together to work as a team, and that reminded me of how the communists in Russia, when the communist revolution happened, how all the government officials were suddenly given so much more power over the average person, which then they could literally abuse the people, and because they were working for the party, they had so much pull, and it seems that it's the same sort of pattern of is happening now. All the judiciary, all the executive, councils, they seem to have been given, same as the security guards, that have been lifted up the level or two. So suddenly I thought, oh, this seems like the Russian Revolution, when everybody, whoever was a member of the party, had so much more pull and power over the average person, and they could abuse the average person, and the laws did not matter anymore. And I think it's a repeat of, because the godless people, the true communists, are the ones who are actually pushing all these agendas. With the kids getting transsexual and all this stuff.
Well, England
anyway,
loves USA and France, and together, but now Trump's in and he's a real man. There's two that are really connected, which is England and France. I mean, the government were good because they've got a few businesses in there. Like one is the Queen's Bridge, like between Kent and Essex, Elizabeth Bridge too, whatever. That's near Dartford, Kent. And you travel over from Kent to Essex. All that used to be owned by obviously the government here. And then when they sold it, now it belongs to a French company. And the same as maybe a couple of electrics, like Eon, and then you got the building industry, Juice and what else you got? It just goes on and on. It's between a party, and I don't know, whereabouts in the world it is, but it's definitely in a capital country called Zion,
Right. Does anyone got any friends abroad which can log on to Donald Bradstreet? And because we cannot find this stuff on UK site anymore, they've blocked it since 2000. I think it was 2007-8 when they stopped all the searches. But I think people can go outside of UK and actually type in, for instance, I don't know, Birmingham City Council, and then get the DUNS number. I've already got about 150 of them, and put some of the police forces, but I don't have all of them.
Also, just another quick one. Now you mentioned Birmingham. I think that's one council that went bankrupt a little while ago as well. Well, a long time ago, like a lot.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
They're all bankrupt. They are all bankrupt.
But it's good here because we've got the best roads. There ain't no holes in the roads, and the police are really helping people. And the NHS, like I said earlier, you don't trust in that system. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah. We are in a trust. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
I asked the social workers. I said, in the courts, I said, if the councils around here are bankrupt, how are you being paid? They're not bankrupt. No. So I got it on my phone. I said, "No, tell me they're not bankrupt because you can Google this stuff." Yeah. Because you've got to ask these questions. How are these people being paid?
Well, more than that is what work they're doing, because the work that they're doing in this country that I know from people around the world. But one person, that I heard from, it worked out something like, it's only, you're not talking about money, £32,350, that ain't a lot of money a second. But then where's that £32,300 going every second? Is it going on the roads? Is it going on the hospitals? Is it helping people, to get their jabs? Is it a new PM that is the best in the world? Because I voted for him. I believe that he is so trusted, he don't lie, and also it is for the people, you know, because when he was asked where does he want to work, would you stay in West Africa or would it be or Davos? And he said, oh, I want to go Davos.
Can I just go to that Prime Minister's defence, right? Because think about it like this, yeah? You've got to turn a bad situation into a good one. He has awakened the masses for us, hasn't he? We don't like him, none of us. But he's done us all a favour by awakening more people than probably we could do in a short period of time.
Well, the whole collection of them all is all to do with WEF, which years ago used to be called the New World Order. I was told about it years ago, and it was started by a bloke showing me a United States dollar, and they had a triangle with an eye in it, and he said, that's what it is. Well, okay. Well, it's a learning process when I was young. Now it's just some black and white that, like I said to you, average 25 per axe, you know, every year. But then what's that? How's that helping actual British people? Because now it's not to do with skin colour either. Now it's not even to do with religion. It's just a process of depopulation. So, you know, when we wake up that we're all the same, even the people that have been coming across, you know, they've signed a contract. You know, they've actually signed a contract, and it's 2.5 years, and you can go on. They can live better and everything else. But then if laws change, the thing is, was it all set up anyway? You know, we don't know, because in London, you know, alone there's 245 different nationalities in London. So is it racist here? No, it's just the system is really not for the people. People will work that out. You know, so as people, we stand together. That's exactly all it is.
Yeah, I think it's a very good, very good time for people to, because a lot of people are disgruntled. However, it's how people's attention is going to be focused on a particular cause. And that's why you get all sorts of distractions all coming at the same time. You know, the news is full of crap about distractions. That's why I've stopped watching the TV for all these years. But I think it's a very good time to harvest people who, who are disgruntled, and then they got energy, or they can focus on a particular cause. So,
Lottie, as you know, and I know, are you a human being?
Well, last time I checked, I think I was.
No, you wasn't, because that in English.
But not a human being as a monster. We're talking.
Yeah, that's it. You got it. You got it. Or
we are talking normal vernacular, not their legalese shit.
Yes.
You know, to deceive. The twin forked tongue of the serpent himself.
Yes.
You know, is behind all this, because the people who are actually on this is you just have to look. For instance, the white book. The white book is for the civil procedure rules, and the judges use that. I actually got one. And when you looked, I looked, was it on Wikipedia or whatever? And the person, I saw pictures of the person who's actually were doing it, updating it all the time. And then I thought, oh, that's a small hat you got on your top of your head, mate. And I thought, oh, that's the same as in different countries. These people with little small hats, they caps, they seem to be doing the dictionaries. They modify languages and alter meaning of words. So then the population, the masses, learn their paradigm, their understanding of the universe and their world around them is through language. So if you modify the language, you can actually modify their understanding of life and the world around them. So I thought, oh, very good. And is that why they control Hollywood as well? I wonder.
Because it was good, like in Walt Disney and Disney World and whatever. Because you go there, you take your children there, and I don't know, it's a big place, very big place. But then kids can disappear. There's a couple of areas underground, like I think it was what's called saying it earlier. There's tunnels, this, that. There's a massive one that happened in Maui. And there was a lack of water. Kids were still going to school, and then they said, oh, there's going to be a hurricane, which it weren't. But then there was a fire, and the people that understand it know that it weren't natural. And anyway, with that, then it happened in Chile, and it's happened in
we had a blue roof here, right?
Do you see what I'm saying? It's all connection, and then, like I said to you earlier, it might be a little fire in North Wales, which it happened, and when it happened, like people, anybody with common sense, let's make a fire in Wales. Yeah, all right. How'd you do that then? Let's go in the woods and do it. It wouldn't happen. Do you know what I mean? You can make a little fire for yourself. I'm not talking about this was a massive fire, and it weren't a factory and anything like that. This is meant to just be an area, but obviously you wouldn't see it on the BBC or CNN.
Remember James Bond, Goldfinger?
Goldfinger, yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember those ones with the X-rays? Not X-rays, lasers from the sky. Those satellites.
Right.
That was in the late 70s.
That's right.
That was late 70s. Yeah. So they already had
please
they
don't
had all
harp
that
on about
already.
it. Please don't harp on about it. But yeah.
Yeah. They tell you beforehand.
Yeah. Well, same again. It was years ago. Hopefully most of us remember it. But them years ago, which was in the 60s, I think, and it was the Thunderbirds, and it's the first time that we see the puppets. The puppets that they had, and we loved it as kids. Everybody would understand it, but then it was weird. He would use his phone and talk to the people.
Yeah.
Does anybody remember that? Yeah.
Yeah, Thunderbirds. You mean like a bit like SpaceX going? Yeah, same sort of shape of stuff going up in the sky.
Well, it was done by puppets. Like years ago, this is, it was made for them years, but it was the same principle of what it is today. Like, he would talk through a phone on his wrist. Now that was in the 60s or whenever it was. It was about the 60s. So that happened then. So now anybody can use their phone to talk on or look at people and everything. It's getting, and it's a match with the Matrix, as in the film. A lot of things are coming out with that. It goes on and on. It's just some people can't see. My favourites are McDonald's, KFC, and Burger King and Pizza Hut, and it's just people
That's just stats on that. I did the statistics on that.
Yeah, mate.
One cow produces up to 1,000 burgers, roughly 900, right?
Yeah.
32 million cows are slaughtered a year, but 3.2 billion burgers are handed out.
Yeah.
That's some food for thought.
That's it.
Yeah, there's. I saw that was there in Florida. They had done tests and that kept finding human DNA
That's right.
in the burgers. And I saw a video. I thought that maybe I should try to find the guy. He was actually a son of Satanist parents, and he was talking. He had to leave, and he's become a Christian now, and he had to escape from his family. He used to say, he was saying in the video, it was 2 hours long, he was talking to these people and explaining exactly what's what, and how he had to participate in certain ceremonies. And he was in the military for a while, and he was saying how trucks full of bits, I'm not,
Yes, I remember seeing that actually on pictures as well.
Moved around. But I'm not going to go into details here because obviously it's.
All I was going to say is if I feel a bit thirsty now, I'll go into go and get a Coca-Cola.
Could you speak to Rangy, please?
Yeah, sure.
That's okay. Thank you. Hi, Rangy. Are you okay?
I'm fine. Try my best. Keep moving forward.
God. So I seen my babies on Thursday. Obviously it's Saturday, early morning Sunday. Is it okay for my children to go away on holiday 7 times a year with the foster carers? and I don't even get a virtual anymore.
So they actually in foster care, yeah.
Yeah,
And
but I've got PR. It's wrote down in the court documents. I'm supposed to have 2 virtuals every single week, and I only get to see them once a month now. But it's not working. So what do? I just need your advice, if you can.
Right. No, I'm gonna give you a few things. What's going on there? So you've got 2 virtuals. You get to see your children once a month.
Once a month.
Yeah, and they're taking the children away 7 times a year
Yeah.
on holiday. So now, if everybody actually pays a close attention to this, now, you see, one of the methods that we've seen, what the authorities and the foster care, this is part of the grooming process. Okay, they're trying to take them wherever they can just to make them feel comfortable, so they don't want to go back home. Okay,
100%. I'm not allowed to show pictures of the bedrooms. You know, they want my children to forget the home.
Yeah. But what they are they gonna allow you to see your children as well a lot more, or are they trying to cut you? Are they on the process where they're declining everything?
Well, on Thursday they changed. On that day, I was supposed to see them on Friday, and all of a sudden I got a phone call saying, "Oh, Debbie, can we do it today?" That's my real name. My name on here is obviously my children's, just like nicknames.
Sorry.
And all of a sudden I dropped everything. When calls will be there, they expect me to go. Well, I can't make
It's
it.
gone quite there a second. I'm not sure if it's still coming in.
Can you hear it? Sorry. Yeah, so I was supposed to see them on the Friday, but they all of a sudden said to me, "Oh, well, it's Thursday now. Do you expect me like to go?" Well, I'm not coming, I can't. They're making me, do you know, like fail at every single point. And it's my son's birthday on Monday. He's going to be 12-year-old. And I went, "Can I get a virtual set up, like speak to my son, you know?"
Yeah.
Right, I've got 5 children, right, Rangy, right? But you shouldn't have a favourite. But my boy, he can't understand because social services turned around and said, when I went to court, "Oh, your mum's okay with it." That's what I got told by the solicitor to say.
Right, sister, what I'm going to do is, I don't need to break down on here. I know exactly what you're saying, but it might be best if I chat with you privately. What I'm going to suggest, if you just go onto this site, go into a part where it says contact us, submit a ticket, but when you put the information, when you put brief description, not a lot, just put on it that you need to speak to me. It'll get passed to me, and then what I'll do is I'll do privately, I'll have a chat with you and see if we can thrash something out, because they're not supposed to, because if they are declining your contact, reducing it, it means what they're trying to do is stop it eventually, to isolate you, which isn't what they should be doing. You should always have contact with your children because you still have parental responsibility.
My 3 little beautiful babies were cuddling me and they just went, "Mum, when can I come home?" And I was like, what do I say? I'm like, "Oh, we just like having fun at the moment," you know what I mean? Like, what you meant to say?
Yeah, I've gone through this, that they want you. See, this is part of them. You saying that is you failing your child. And I have seen it in the past, and in a live case, or even my own, where then they go into the children and saying your parent doesn't want to see you.
Yeah, that's what they said to my boy. You know what I mean? And he's like, "Mum, you've turned Mum said that, like, I'm okay to be here." I'm like, and I have to bite my tongue and go, it's far from the truth.
Why? Can you tell the child the truth? Is it illegal to do that?
What it is, they don't want the child. Yeah, they don't want the child to be guided, because if the child knows the truth, the child will rebel. They want to go home. This is a process of taking alienation into it. So they're trying to destroy the relationship and blame it on the parent. This is what's actually happening. So,
You speak so much truth.
no, sister, just please stay strong. If you do that, I'll make sure, Neil, remind me first thing tomorrow. I'll go on the site. I'll see if I can find it myself. But just put on it that you want to speak to me. I'll communicate with you straight away, and then we'll see what we can thrash out. Because I do have, like I say, a few social workers coming on board all the time. Let's see if we can get them involved and get the right thing done. Because they're not going to do anything. They're just going to ignore it. You're going to suffer.
The court that you were at, Rangy, sorry for interrupting. That's the court that I went to.
Yeah, I know a man that's kind of not far from you, like when I say the accent, right? But over the road a little bit. But anyway, he's sorting out some courts. He's closing them down. Like,
which courts is that?
Is it Millsborough or Stockton? Which one? The big one. You're outside, Rangy. That's the one I went to. And you know something? The judge, she didn't like me as soon as I walked in. Do you know something? I was suited and, well, not suited in boots, but do you know, like, if you went in there like a scruff fight, they'd probably tell you like that, this. But if you go in there looking like, do you know, like, looking okay, you know, you can't win. You can't win. And then if you get a mouth, you see you're chaotic. Do you know what was in my court documents? She's chaotic. Why? Because I'm crying over my kids.
yeah, that's natural. That's called you having a heart and soul. Just one thing I'd say is I know a few people, even like just add me or add you, and more than that is I'll just send you some things that it really help you.
Thank you.
I promise you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sorry, Rangy, for having a rant. It's just...
No, sister.
He's 100% as well, I promise you that. He's a good man. He's got a heart.
Thank you, Rangy. And I'm sorry to everyone in box.
I know exactly what you're on about, and I know exactly which department that you're on about as well. And I am going to deal with all of them because we know about all of them in that area. And we're going to have to deal with every one of them, which at the moment, I'm going to discuss a lot of these things behind the scenes with you, probably see if we get some ammunition with you. I'll also speak to Laura as well to get you all the information, but preferably I'm going to see if I get some social workers, good ones. And I do have a few in that area that are working with us behind the scenes.
I had one 2.5 years ago. She was there for a week. And do you know what she got? She got sacked. Do you know why? Because she was like, right, them kids need to come back with the mum. She got sacked in a week. She got sacked.
Yeah, anybody that's good, they get sacked, removed, or sent on the sick because it's a network. It's a network of corruption. We know that. They know we know that as well.
She was called Emma.
They just tried.
I don't really want to expose the name, but that's where her name was, and she'll be fine with me saying that. I didn't, and she was like, Debbie, I do not see on these files why you don't have your children. And I was like, she went, right, I'm going to push for home visits, for sleepovers, everything. And then she got sacked. Can you believe it?
No, that's
okay. No, well, that's one thing extra. What we'll do is we'll talk off him because I don't want to give her details away. It might be good to have a chat with her as well. Because these play a dirty game, and you know we just got used to how they're playing. We just got to play dirty back. So I could empower even the ex-social worker now. It doesn't matter to get it dealt with. To get it dealt with, profitizing, and it's only affecting your children. And you know yourself, when your children are seeing you, they want to come home.
I keep forgetting what I'm going to say, but this is another thing, right, Angie? So when I see my babies on Thursday, I said, my daughter, I went, because she loves gymnastics. I said, how's that your pull-up bar thing? She went, Mum, I'm not allowed to put it up till summer. Because I said, well, why can't I go in the sitting room? Why can't I go in the kitchen? Do you want those gymnastic things? Yeah. Right? I bought it for Christmas. I spent thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds on my children. And they're not allowed to even have them unboxed.
Yeah.
Ugh.
They don't want your... See, it's horrible to say, but I know what's actually happening. But... I mean, look, even in the comments, there are loads of people in that boat, but we need to do, and I'm hoping everybody else is listening up here. This is every day. every single day, or hundreds. But sister, I just want you to remember you're not alone. Let's start working on it. Let's start getting some extra support and get some loopholes.
As well, before I forget. So when I see my daughters and my son on Thursday, do you know something? This woman who I've never met in my life dropped them off, and do you know what she turned? She ran back round and said, by the way, before she tells any lies, my youngest daughter, she wasn't allowed to go to book day today because she's been naughty at school. Oh. No. Fair dues, right? The child's naughty. Are you going to exclude my daughter from going to...
It's a system.
Yeah, it's a form of punishment. But what I am going to tell you...
No soul.
Yeah, no, so what I'm going to tell you is, look, whether you got a phone or a camera, get anything, any interaction with them, record it.
Rangy, I never knew this would happen to me. I didn't even think this would happen to me. I realised that this happened to me, right? And I went mental when a social worker come in my house. I was like, get out now. Get away from me now. And then they ran the police. So it was either they take my children or be locked up, which I wish I'd been locked up for life now. Because it's just a world full of punishment. You know?
Yeah. No, I agree.
I bought my children phone and I can't even have the phone numbers, you know?
Yeah, but I want you to understand one thing while you're on here. If you ever come on here, no. That's the bit I was about to say. When you're coming on here, don't ever apologize. We understand. I honest to God, everybody be thinking the same thing. You just say whatever you need to do. We're there to support you in any way. You don't need to apologize. Jump in whenever you want, because this is what it's all about. We need to be there for each other regardless of anything else. There is nothing out there. The system is broken. It's running and operating illegally. And we have to deal with this matter, you know what I mean? And isolating, we don't want you to be isolated. We don't want you to be on your own. And this is why everybody, even law, everybody's going to give you that support and say that we're all together.
Okay, I'll drop out now. I'm sorry for having the biggest friend in the world. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, you don't ever apologize, sister. That's it. You're more than welcome. Offload whatever you want. But I'm only trying to protect you in some things. I don't want it on here. I want it private for yourself. So, you know, I've got to take that little bit of responsibility. You understand? But drop me a message, and if we do it tonight, I'll pick it up tomorrow. And just in the comments, just put in that you want to speak to me, that you spoke to me tonight, and I'll immediately arrange a call or something with you immediately, okay?
Thank you ever so much, right? Take care, everyone. Right.
Likewise.
Morning, God bless.
Listen to this. You talk about Monday, because you said tomorrow.
No, it's Sunday tomorrow. I'm getting confused now because it's early blood my mind.
Yeah, no. For me, tomorrow is Sunday, because until I don't go to sleep, the night doesn't end. And then when I wake up, it's the next day. So
I'm on just down from Field. We're not right, take care. Thank you.
My sister, you take care. So I'll speak to you soon.
Right, thank you.
No problem. Bye-bye. Lord, do me a favor, when you get around to it, drop me a message, man. You know, I mean, we need everybody coming together. You know, I'm going to have to repeat something. You know, this is why I appeal all the time, and I hope you understand. This is what I mean by our sisters, our daughters, our mothers are suffering in silence. Now, if that doesn't break your heart, well, I don't get it. You understand? This is what it means. This is what we're talking about. I'm so overwhelmed inside because I know what she's going through. You know what I mean? And if you haven't gone through this, you should be praising yourself that you haven't. But let's try to help others who are going through this and who have gone through this, because it's that world of nightmare is a totally different level of suffering. Okay, so I'm just going to add that again because I need you to wake up. You know, I'm not going to bash it across the head again and again. I just want you to understand that, okay? Because this is wrong. That's why, Lord, I mean, the bits that you might want to advise or whatever, let's get together and collectively do whatever it takes to help this mother. You know what I mean? Because look, saving one child, one home.
Same as there's, you know, all the friends here, all the people here would know, you know, Tomo and that, you know what I mean? And with Tomo, there was a guy, I said to him, you know, like, get a chat with him, that's Stephen. And he come on, and same again, together, all the people work it out, you know, with John on CCAN, you know.
Yeah, but this is the thing. I've actually requested everybody for a long time, but for some strange reason, we're not connecting. Everybody wants to do their own thing. It's not a one-man band thing. We have to be collective. We have to use everybody's mind. Okay, everybody has skill sets, you know what I mean? And we need to get these things done. We can't keep shotting our daughters, our sisters, our families, our children to the wolves. We got to fight back. We got to put the defense on. And, you know, if we can't do this, now for me, I'm going to take it just to the men. If we cannot do this, don't call ourselves men. You understand? We might as well be one of these things called Christmas tree, not know if I'm a man or a woman no more. Come on. You know what I mean? And I love yous all. I respect yous all. But, you know, if that doesn't touch you and other people don't touch you to what they're going through, suffering, how many times have we got to hear this? And we know it's happening. This is why I talk about it. This is why I'm openly with this. And we need to support them in every way. Now, I know exactly where she is because I spoke about that town.
Mm-hmm.
I spoke about what they've been doing.
There. It's happening everywhere. It's not just
Absolutely.
in the UK. It's not
Absolutely.
just in Scotland, Ireland or Wales. It could have been happening in America. Not so much Russia, because Russia are more, I'd say, genuine. That's the one way I'd call them. That's a fact. With Starmer and Biden, you know, that their connection together, as in, I think they both got, you know, 100% voted in, both of them. And now Trump's here. Yeah, I think things are going to change a little bit.
Yeah, well, this is the thing, you see. Things are going to change, but how much? Look, between now and when the things change, between now and the things change, if we don't put a defense on and do something, okay, to help and secure, we're not only going to lose children, we're going to lose the life of the parents as well. They're going to end up losing the plot in a lot of ways. And, you know, and then we're going to be crying our guts out that, you know, one way we're trying to help and the other way they'll be losing everything and everyone. This is not what we want. We need to move forward. And I'm going to get her connected with the girls as well who are actually part of the team because she needs support. And she's going to get that down. Anything we could do, we are going to do it. We're not bothered. But if everybody come together with the skill sets, we literally can't change everything. The problem is people are not coming together. There's a lot of beautiful campaigners, I'll be honest with you. But they're displaced. I mean, this is why for me, personally, I always tell everybody that, look, even if you don't want to work with me, no problem. I'm willing to work with you. Okay, because this is not about show. This is not about thinking, you know, if they make articles or do something, I'll put it on the website. Why? Because it's significant. It's important. It's information, because this is what that's all about. You understand? That information needs to be out. And the more people come together, that will help. You know, that remember, that could be your daughter, your sister, your mother, your wife. Think about it, my brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? If that doesn't touch you, I don't know what will. I really don't. But just keep that in mind, Law. I mean, you know, I've already got you as following as well. You know what I mean? Follow back. I've got all that. Just let's get into it. Let's start linking people up. And then, yeah, we could still do separately, because the more people do this kind of stuff regularly, productively, the better. And that's simple. That's the most I could say. Now, the good thing is, or the bad thing is, I know somebody said 1 o'clock, but I think people are actually going along with it 1 on the afternoon. Lord, I think you're the one that put that mindset on everybody. 1 o'clock.
I was joking. It was a sense of humour, because today is Sunday, so tomorrow will be Monday. But as a joke, I said that'll be tomorrow, that'll be Monday. That's all. It was a joke.
No. I know that bit was a joke, but the joke that I'm going along with is, you said 1 p.m. So were you on about for tomorrow after or this afternoon that we stopped the live on 1 p.m.?
No, yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Yeah, I was joking. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, I was joking.
Yeah, so if there's anybody that wants to jump in, and also, if there's anybody, actually, let's ask the public how they feel. If anybody wants us to stay longer, how do you feel, guys? Because I know when these things happen, I know it encourages everybody to like, let's stay on a bit longer. You know what I mean? Because you don't know what time these mothers and sisters and daughters and even, I've even had children message or try to even come on here. You know that? Because they're suffering. And it's hard. And, I tried not to communicate on public media at all. And even on the website, when we've had them, we actually send them a consent form to get your parents to fill in the consent form before we even touch or speak to them. Because it's hard, it's overwhelming. And we've all got to think now. We've got to think what we're going to be doing. And we've got to be focused. Let me promise you one thing. Long as we're doing something every day, 1% of our effort, even if it's getting the word out, we're going to achieve something. We're going to try to save as many as possible. These may be the tyrants, these are actually the modern day pharaohs. Now, if you remember what I'm on about the pharaohs, you know what I mean? When you talk about the resistant always wins. You just got to believe in yourself. And more importantly, if there's ever a fight worth fighting for, this is it. You understand? I don't even know what else to say about that. But if anybody wants us to stay on longer, put it in the comments. Otherwise,
in Utah, in America, they've banned what we got in our water. What is it? Is it chloride or what is it?
Fluoride.
Yeah. They're in Utah, in America.
Fluoride.
Yeah.
Fluoride, yeah.
As we're mentioning that, everybody just go out and if they can afford it, 55 quid, you can buy yourself a water distiller.
Boom. There we go.
Stop drinking this crap that they're putting through the taps, for goodness
You tell him, Leo. You tell him, Leo. Everyone needs to listen to that.
Yeah. Carly's right.
You know what? Actually, do you know what? Give that little bit of a description of what you find and what's been happening in that so people could actually understand it. Because let me tell you something, this was in the reports as well. Your normal council pop tap water is unfit for human consumption. That's the results of it. And yet we're still drinking it.
Yeah.
I don't like to even bathe in it.
Yeah, go on, Neil. I
don't like to even bathe in it. It's so full of chemicals and rubbish. Yeah. And I also think, the estrogen from the contraceptive pill has leached into our system and basically we've lost our men.
Yeah.
Simple as that, So, yeah, water distiller, 55 quid from eBay. I think I got one from. Really easy to use. And just get yourself some distilled water.
Really easy to use. And one of the things I've seen them do this, when it filters and goes through, it shows you what's the crap that's left.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something.
Yeah.
It does. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
It does. And is this what we've actually been paying for? It's going to be troubling.
Yeah. Out of 4.5 litres, I can get a whole dessert spoon full of actual crap out of it, of just sludge that shouldn't be in there.
The only match I've got in it is, I trust the water companies, and I trust the gas, and I trust the electric companies, and because we've all signed a contract. Because I know the only person in the UK that has actually signed a contract, with these companies. So
Can you show me my wet signature on that paperwork, please, Law?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and the
you're
one
funny,
that
man. You're
the government
funny.
can actually govern us. that one.
One thing I'm going to mention, there's a law that we have in place that says that anybody who funds any form of terrorist activities, you don't need to fund it. Okay. Now we know our country has been funding terrorism.
Yeah,
Just on that grounds, we need to hold everything back.
exactly.
But this has to be done collectively. We need everybody to wake up. So we know when we talk about solutions, there are solutions out there where we could oppress these people because they're oppressing us. If everybody come together and we stop paying council tax, water, all this stuff that the ledgers believe that is nice and good, but it's actually for them. If we stop all that, that'll put pressure on them. Okay, and we'll be able to get what we want. The problem is we're not doing it, and the reason, and when we're not doing it, they think, "Oh, what the hell? Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's give them the poison." You see, and this is the reason why we're losing the farms, everything, because the whole country needs to come together for the farmers. The whole country needs to come back together for obviously even the water. But if we all come together once, just once, for all these topics and stop everything, and what are they going to do? And that doesn't mean we're not going to pay. We're going to say we're going to hold it back until you deal with these issues. That's all we're saying. We're going to hold it back.
Some people know, some people don't. Just a quick one. I don't like Allah because my best mate Bill Gates made it, and if you turn up the bottom of the plastic in, it could be Lidl and definitely Tesco's. It's been like that for a year. But if anybody sees Allah on it, then just check it out what it is, because it's done through Bill Gates as well.
Yeah, well, we need to stop all that then. That's for sure. Okay, well, listen. I'm not. Am I right in looking at the clock? It says coming up 2:30.
No, in the country I'm in, it's 12. No, I'm joking.
Nah, listen, the clocks have just gone forward. Rangy, the clocks have just gone forward by an hour.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, boom.
At 1 o'clock, the clocks went forward to 2, so it's supposed to be 1:30 right now.
And it'll be bright.
All right, I was thinking, what the hell happened there?
It'll be bright.
Nah, the clocks have gone forward.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, depending on how people feel, we could give it another half an hour if you want. Maximum.
Because I've got to speak to someone 7,000 miles away. But anyway, take care, everybody. All right. Have a good evening.
Lord, do what you need to do. Get yourself away. Be safe. Stay safe. And drop me a message.
Yeah,
and let's see what we can do.
All right, buddy.
You okay, my brother?
Yeah. No worries.
No worries, my friend.
Take care, everybody.
Likewise, brother.
Good night.
Mate.
Good night.
Yeah, so I'm hoping people understand. I mean,
sorry. Tabassum, jump on if you can.
Okay.
Yeah, if anybody wants to jump on, best time, because if you look at it, I mean, look at tonight. I mean, you know, we're human beings. You have to be strong. Look at that mother. Just think about that. And yet we know there was mothers in here who are feeling the pain. You understand? And this is what we mean. Just because, let's say I'm not online, for example, doesn't mean these things don't come in my face every day. We've acknowledged this, we know this, and it's happening to thousands of mothers every single day. Every single day. There's mothers actually committing suicide every day. Don't think mothers aren't, they are. And they're fighting the fight as well. Because this is the reason why they destroy the relationship, they get rid of the husband, and they're just attacking them again and again. And this is not acceptable whatsoever. BT, brother, get yourself back on. I've got your brother on here. Tabassum, Assalamualaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, walaikum salam, everybody.
Walaikum salam, sister. How are you? You okay?
Yeah, I'm good, brother Rangy. How are you?
Yeah, getting there slowly but surely. Just very, very troubling with the kind of topics we've been talking about. We've had a lot of mothers struggling and suffering, reaching out for help and support. I mean, in this day and age where they're suffering in silence and no aid, no help, nothing comes towards them, it just breaks everybody's heart in here. Everybody's human in here. It is troubling, very, very troubling.
Well, you're a very decent individual, And that's why I've come on the live, because there's a lot of lives that go on that I just really can't be bothered with. But you're not one of the ones that just waffle on or just are there to prove a point. You're a genuine person. So is Mr. Too Busy.
Lodi, you've gone as well. Didn't you want to say goodbye before you go? Yeah, that's right. You better join back in.
But anyway, Brother Rangy, I've just come back from a long day at work, so enough respect, and hopefully speak soon.
Inshallah, sister. But listen, sister, thank you very much for joining us.
Well, thank you for being such a good, decent human being. There's not many about, especially on TikTok. You're a genuine soul.
Too many toxic, too many people looking for fame. We haven't got time for that.
Wishing you a happy Eid if you're having it on Sunday or Monday to you and your loved ones.
I think we are celebrating it tomorrow, but my celebration is not really much of a celebration. I wake up and I just do this. The only thing I try to do is get my namaz done, and then I'm back at this again.
Likewise, brother, I'm divorced and on my own, and you know what? I'm not saying that I'm happy or content, but it's better than the alternative, being married and miserable and ready to kill someone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, innit? When you leave, it's either you or them. You're either going out in a body bag or you're going out in person. Do you get me? And it gets to that point, you gotta go.
Yeah, I'm with you on sister.
Yeah, when it gets to that point, it's you or them, yeah? And you get to the point where you get to the core of the person, right? The proper nitty-gritty of who that person is, the romance goals and everything, and you actually get to the core of
it's called the
ick.
It's the ick, isn't it?
And if you don't like what their personality is, oh my God, that's it. If you don't like the actual personality of who that person is, because you don't get to know it until you really, really cough and you make up and break up and get to really know the essence of who that person is, yeah.
Yeah.
And at that point, if you can't stand them, oh my God, murder's happening in that kitchen, I tell you.
They're the first to know about it as well.
Yeah, I know. I've had a bloody potato peeler to my neck. And COVID, because I said my knees hurt, and he come back from taxis. He goes, I've been out in taxis all day long, and you're saying your knees hurt. I don't underactive thyroid, 2 cesarean sections, right? Goes, you can't even bloody peel potatoes, eh? I've got to come and do the cooking. You sit down and do it. And he had the potato peeler to my neck. Yeah, in domestic violence, we just had the personality clash. He's Mr. Bossy Boots, know it all. And he thinks I'm just the idiot that's going to go, yeah, say ya. I'm not. You have to be a donkey or a leader in a marriage. There has to be a dopey one and a clever one. Unless you really meet a genuine person where you can work a teamwork. But either you've got to be stupid as hell or clever as hell to make it work.
Sometimes you're just better off on your own as well. Like, you don't always have to be with someone. That could be something we've been lied to about as well.
It's true. You don't. I mean, being on your own has its perks and its downfalls. But you know what? It's better than pretending to be happily married.
Precisely.
Isn't it? Because most of these people, that are all lovey-dovey, behind closed doors, I don't think it's lovey-dovey 24 hours a day. Love don't pay the rent, does it? Why was everybody getting divorced in COVID and everybody getting mental health?
Because they had to spend time together and see if they generally got on. Which they never.
The reason why people get on in this country is because they've got to go to work. If they stay at home 24/7 in each other's company, oh my God. My God.
This brings us
COVID showed us what happened, didn't it? When we had to stay together. Didn't we? The only thing we had to look forward to was that 6 o'clock bulletin from who was it? Who was our Prime Minister? Boris. Right, we can go out tonight. Right, we can't go out tonight. That's all we had to look forward to all day long, listen to our Boris.
Can we book you to come on every week, just at the end of the night, just to set everyone in order?
Oh, I'm a gobshite. I just need to keep my mouth shut and take my medication. Got to go into the cupboard now. Take my shut up medication. That's the therapy that I have as well. Talking therapy. It's shut up medication. I've had enough talking therapy for 20 years. Talking therapy, there's not enough talking therapy you can do. Honestly, everybody's making a living out of it now, Rangy. My sister's a therapist and she's an asshole. Can't speak to her. She's so woke society, honestly.
Brilliant.
Yeah, you can't. These people that are qualified therapists, when they're at home, she's having therapy for the last 6 years. And now she's a therapist.
You see, these therapists, for example, what starts getting to them, they become experts. You know what an expert is, don't you?
No, I'm stupid.
An ex is a has-been, and a spurt is a drip under pressure. You see, it gets to the head. And this
Really,
is what I
because honestly, she's going to become a therapist, and she's still having therapy herself. So the only way you become a therapist is if you bloody healed yourself. She's not healed herself, and she's becoming a therapist. You can't even talk to her. Honest to God, man. Swear to God, honestly. And then, if I told you my life story, honest to God, I could become a stand-up comedian. I'm actually thinking about it, Brother Rangy. But it's flooded by the Pakistani British community. They're flooded by comedians, so they've took that one over as well.
Yeah, well, that doesn't matter. I think you're going to be the best. I think we should get you
I think I want to become Mrs. Tumble. You know, Tumble, Mr. Tumble. He makes a killing, that children's Mr. Tumble. You know which one I'm talking about? The children's.
He's creepy though, man. He creeps me out.
I want to be his wife. I want to be Mrs. Tumble. You've got to check him out, Brother Rangy. He's called Mr. Tumble. He's on the BBC and BBC 1 and 2. It's like a Teletubby guy. He's like a clown called Mr. Tumble. Making a killing he is. I want to marry him and be Mrs. Tumble and have a show called Mr. and Mrs. Tumble.
Hope everybody's listening up here.
Married. Yeah, I'm going now. Allah Hafiz. Goodbye.
Allah Hafiz, sister. Thank you very much.
Nice to speak to everybody. Neo and Carly Bell.
Goodbye, my darling. Shall I drop you a follow? Oh.
Yeah, sure. I'll follow you back.
I'm dropping her a follow just for the comedy.
Thanks, bye. Love, peace, harmony.
I got to bust some, man. You did it again.
Oh, Mr. Too Busy. Honestly,
really, my stomach hurt.
That's the. I want to be Mrs. Too Busy for you. Can I marry you as well? And
Bussum, you're amazing, man. You're one of a kind, man.
Yeah, right. A lot of people want me dead, especially my ex.
But do you know what, guys? Can I say one thing about Bussum? Do you know when I first was in contact, she came on my live on my platform. She wasn't herself. She was in a really hard place, difficult place. She still is. Yeah. But alhamdulillah, to hear her, how she spoke today and to hear her laughing.
Ask my ex-husband what he thinks. I've told him to duck off, honestly, if he'll come to Birmingham. Him and Denise, they'll have him carted off in the bloody psychiatric ward. Honestly, them two with their bulldogs. Honestly, and the detached houses. Honestly, sat there.
No, but I do know sister is suffering and stuff, but you know what?
It's not suffering because you know what? But Mr. Too Busy, I worked in a children's home, right? And there was a lovely lady called Maureen there when I was 24, yeah?
Yeah.
And she said, oh my God, we used to have this corner shop, yeah? And there was a Packy guy there, and we used to call him Packy George. It was never a problem. All of a sudden, all this racism and stuff. And I said to her, Maureen, what do you think about people, hey? She goes, now strange than folk. And when I was 24, I never understood that quote. We used to work in children's home with children, 11, 12, tearaways, you know, in Didsbury and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And she said, now, strange than folk, Carly Bell, Neo, Brother Rangy, Brother Mr. Too Busy for you, yeah?
Yes.
Think about that quote, not strange than folk. Yeah, There's nothing stranger in life than people.
Yeah, that's true. That's
right in England, what's a man's best friend?
Dog.
What is it?
A dog. Football.
Exactly. Why is it not another human being? Why was the Queen taking her corgis out and not her husband?
Oh, come on. Dogs are better than human beings. You just can't have it any other way.
Because they're faithful, innit?
Yeah.
You can't trust a human being.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Man's best friend, go out any day. Sunday, go out to the park. Everybody's with the dog. Not the missus, not the girlfriend, not the kids. Got the bloody dog with them. Yeah, just shows you England's a barrel of laughs. It is. I'm getting off. All right, see you. Bye. Bye. Love
Okay, love it.
Thank you, sister.
You too, sis. I'll be a follow. I'll follow you back. Bye.
Yeah, definitely. I already have. Of course I have. She's brilliant, Rangy, man. She can come back. I liked her.
When Mr. Too Busy for You, he's shouting somebody, get in the box, get in the box. And then he dropped out of the box and she come in the box and that's why I was sending him a message.
No, because I know, because if I'm there, I'm just going to keep laughing and I'm going to be able to stop myself from talking as well. I want her to talk. Me and her, we're too much of the same personality.
No, it's brilliant. We needed a bit of sense of humor as well today. We needed to break a little bit.
But you know what? Like, but for when she first come on and stuff, she was really, really down in the dumps and probably still is, but it's good to see that she's actually, without any...
You've gone silent.
Where's he gone? Mr. Too Busy, you there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're back, Mr. Too Busy?
Did I go?
Yeah, you went. Say that again.
Oh my God. So basically I said when she first come on, and she was in a really dark place and stuff, and then from now she's still only gone to the doctors for some medication, etc., but she managed to help herself, and seems like she's in a bit better headspace and stuff, and she's going through child protective services herself, dealing with them as well. So it's good when you can see a person's journey as well, because that shows you that it shows you.
He's gone again. And I think this is a sister, LBA. Laughter is the best medicine.
That's what's up. I'm listening to her, man. And yeah, it's heartbreaking, when there's so much people suffering. You just want to do it 24 hours, 7 days a week, and you just don't want to stop. You know what I mean? Like, when people understand the extent of how deep this is, and how much it means for the people that don't have a voice, or that just come on and then all of a sudden they relate to it and then they speak up about it. It's hard to even talk about their story and stuff, so good, fair play to you guys, that are going through these things and speaking up about it, or suffering that's going on. Proper appreciate. It takes a lot of courage to even come on and then to speak about yourself in front of people you don't know, when you don't know who's listening. And then sometimes, we break down as well. So, you know what? I fully salute you guys, man, 100%.
One thing I'm going to say to you, brother, I mean, I've been telling people for 5 years now, and I've been saying the very same thing for any further clarity. And this is before LCS even came about. I've been saying the very same thing. Please come forward. Please come forward. If the public really just made that little bit of an effort, we can change everything. And I promise you, we could change everything. The problem is I'm just so overwhelmed with the amount of suffering that's happening. And it's hard for me. So I'll give you an example. And this is why I'm so glad of Carly and many of the sisters that are joining. At the beginning, I didn't have sisters. I was stuck on my own because I wasn't expecting it. And it was hard for me, difficult for me, because, my parents told me, we always like to get women speaking to women. Nothing to do with feminist or nothing like that. It was just moral standards. And in this particular topics that we're going into, I was finding that the topic would start from one thing about social services, for example. And within it, I'd find that they're telling me, because now they're desperate to offload to get the help, I'd find out about this kind of stuff in the middle of it, which I felt uncomfortable. And I know deep down they might have felt uncomfortable. And I was overwhelmed. And this is the reason why I started pushing, please people come together, please people come together. I need your help. And I was begging. And even today, look, I even put my hand together in front of everybody. I'm appealing to you. right? If you come, at least these sisters could have help. Look, with the men, it's easy with the men. I could speak to the men. It's like we've had a couple of men here, which is perfect. But the more sisters we have on board, the better. Because we're not just talking about mothers, we're talking about teenage young girls that are going through this. We're talking about grandmothers who need a shoulder as well, who need reasoning with, but people who are awake as well. There's nothing worse trying to speak to somebody who just doesn't get it. Because then you're reliving your trauma again and again, trying to convince somebody. That is definitely no go. It's just a waste of friggin' jargon. Just don't even go down that side of it. But this is why I've been doing it again and again. And you know, if people did come forward, I really should have had at least 100 strong people behind the scenes picking up the information. I got myself caught up at the beginning of last year and the back end of 2023, where I not only had here, United Kingdom, Wales, Ireland, Scotland, but America reaching out, Canada reaching out, France, Germany, Australia, Sweden, Denmark, those 12 different countries reached out to us to say we need help and support. I didn't expect in just the UK, but my job is just keep moving forward. And this is why I think I was targeted a lot last year, because I was waking not just people here, but throughout the globe. The good thing is we have now a couple of people who have joined from America who are working with their LCS News now. And what they're going to be doing when people come forward from America, we're going to link them up with people local where they are. And this is the same thing we're going to do for Australia, France and Germany, Denmark, Sweden, and so on. And this is what we need. We need people just to have a 1% of effort. That's all we need. We don't need a lot. You know what I mean? Everybody could give 1%. People say not everybody will give 100% of effort, but everybody will throw you 1% of effort. And if I had everybody just doing 1%, collectively, that makes 100%. If there's 100 people, can you imagine the work that we could get done? And you got to remember, the more 1% come forward, then it reduces my 99, 98, 97. You see, it reduces me down to 1%. So I could then focus on exposing, fighting the corruption, and which I'm going to do. I don't care. You understand? Teach other people how to do it. Give them the ammunition. Also, journalists. If people want to learn about the journalist side, we're making our own journalists. We've got our own badges, everything. We're going into courts, the lot. Not just here now. We're doing the same thing in America as well. We're doing the same thing in Canada as well. And we're going to do the same in every other country. But we're dealing with it from here because this is where the base is. And if people actually knew that it's actually LCS News is part of the public, you'd probably want to dive in a lot more. You understand? And it's just a database of putting people together where we're not going to hold back, and we are going to do fact findings. We're going to do live stories, and I could really do with starting. We already have a radio channel of our own. We've got a podcast studio of our own, and LCS News website. We want to go live in such a way where 24 hours a day, we're doing a live news reporting in every country. So let's say we do 6 o'clock news here. In that 6 o'clock news, I will be breaking silence on live information, doing my safeguarding, doing the child protection, but exposing the corruption. City by city by city, by corporate company, by another corporate company. Look, leave the fighting to me. Because there's many people like me, but we got to do the safeguarding because we can't put any child at risk. We can't put the vulnerable parents at risk, but they also need our help and support. And don't get me wrong, when we find good things, we might get the chance of actually doing something, reporting something positive, something good. But we are in a situation, we only have nightmares around us. There's nothing positive apart from fighting back. And I'd like to start a report. And people used to say to me, have we saved children? Have we got children back? Well, the answer is yes, but I don't talk about it because of the way the system is. Because previously, when people have got their children back, they've gone public, they've said that they've got their children, they've won. It's only been a matter of time before they went back in to go for the children again to make an excuse because they can't handle the truth. And this is why me personally, even though I've had children back, I'm not going to talk about it because I can't. I don't want to put the child at risk again. I won't want to put that young mother at risk again or the grandma at risk again. Why would I do that? And besides, it's not a show. You know, in Islam, it tells us that if you do something good with one hand, you don't need to let the left hand know. In other words, don't talk about, don't brag, because it's not about fame. But people want this. People, for example, always saying, hey, you know, shows how many. Well, what the hell do you mean shows how many? This is not a show. It's not entertainment. In a battlefield, this is what we're doing. We don't have a choice. I'm personally entrapped with it. I can't even get out. But I'm fighting my best in every single way. But I'm not on my own. I mean, we have millions of people now are awake throughout the United Kingdom, and I'm just hoping more and more people just join, just get involved. Even if you don't want to get involved, what you could do is, let's say from my TikTok, go to the beginning of my TikTok videos, start sharing it. Have a look at what I'm talking about. But if you want to take it on board, like Mr. M.I. Thingy Magic that I had earlier on, he's going to download this logo. And I'm going to hand him the evidence as well to back himself up so he could then go out and do the fight. Because in this war, shall we say, you've got to have ammunition, and this is all about evidence now, not fact. This is fact findings, not crap findings. And the more ammunition you have, the more you can fight. You understand? Otherwise, you're going into a war with no ammunition. You know what's going to happen. You're going to get shot. You're going to get put down. Sorry, let me just go to LBA. Hi, LBA.
Hi, you all right?
I'm good. Thank you very much, sister. Thank you very much for joining us. Is anything you wanted to add or comment or anything? Feel free.
I'm new to TikTok. I've only recently started on. This was my son's account, but I got him an iPhone 16 for Christmas, so I've got his old phone. So I've been watching TikTok, like obviously for months now. But you know what? It's one of the best TikToks I've ever come across.
Well, thank you very much. It's obviously a serious topic, and I am going to have to say this. I'm so glad that you were in the comments, because when that sister was breaking down, I know she was reading the comments, what you were saying.
Yeah.
And you know, she needed support as well. And this is why I appeal all the time that and I'm going to say this again, you probably heard me mention number of times, there are more mothers, sisters, daughters out there fighting the real war, lads.
Oh,
my brothers. You know what I mean? What are we doing?
Honestly,
you know what I mean? So I'm going to take my hat off to you, sister. I haven't got one on, but I'm going to salute you. Thank you very much.
Honestly, it's the best live I've ever watched. I actually fell down the stairs, but I needed the charger. She was talking. I was thinking, oh my God, this is real life situations, and I can say something. I can say quite a lot, to be fair, but I just don't know where to start. But I have been thinking about stuff about social services and stuff, and basically how they've treated me. And I'm a good mum, and they've apologised for making mistakes, etc. But I'm not one of them mums who lets things like slowly slip away. I will face facts, and I've got my social worker changed. I've got my mental health worker changed. And, I've just got everyone changed, and you can do it. You can change things, and then you feel like, hang on a minute, right? They're blaming me for this, and they're not even doing anything. It's took me 15 weeks to get supervised contact. I've got loads of paperwork. I've kept paperwork for at least 20 years, and I'm so proud of myself, because that's my aim, is to go through all this paperwork. I could go into all sorts, but I'll just keep it there for now. But yeah, I've enjoyed the TikTok.
Well, sister, what I'm going to say is,
my first time talking on TikTok, I was down to request, and I was thinking, no, should I? And I thought, yeah, I'm gonna.
No, well, I'm glad you've come on.
I'm doing it. I've had enough.
No, I'm glad that you've come on. I'm happy with that, 100%. But you know, with you having experience and you've gone through this, you heard me say a number of times, you know what I mean, if anybody can donate that little bit of time, because mothers like this, yeah, we could help and support. It's limited how much we could do. However, but all of us together, one of the biggest things needed is moral support from a mother to a mother, or a female to a female.
I've got my back.
You know,
Hey, can I come in now? Can I just say something to you, sweetheart?
Yeah, go ahead.
Happy Mother's Day.
Hi, Jack.
Oh, I forgot. And I've got no bloody children.
Well, no, you have, but you know.
My kids are
Good for you for coming up, though. Good for you for coming up. Always feel free to come. You're more than welcome.
I love it.
We all need each other. That's what we're here for.
Oh, but honest to God, like, my kids are absolutely gorgeous and, like, safe. And, do you know, I'm a good mum, but then I could say...
I believe you. I believe you.
Yeah.
This isn't your fault. It's not any of our faults. This is what the whole thing's all about. It's all a lie. And that's what we're all here for, and that's what we appreciate Rangy for, giving up all his time.
He's amazing. I love him. I was like, oh,
yeah, he's the best.
More people like this. The truth.
yeah, you know, when you learn a little bit more about me, you'll realize how bad it is, because, you know, when you're at the front like this, you get targeted a lot. But you know, I am going to say this, you know, I'm just a dad. I'm just another man, another person. That's all I am. And I'm just doing what needs to be done. And we just want to do what's right.
Yeah.
You see, I have a daughter and I love it a bit. I have a sister, I love it a bit. And I love my mother as well, love it a bit. You know what I mean? And it breaks me apart for what my daughter, my wife, my sister, my mother, what they've gone through in life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is the reason why I'm fighting. And this is why I tell people that if you love and respect your mother, your daughter, your sister, women and children are being abused, then you need to come forward. Because if you're not connected with your heart to the love and affection of your own home, how are you going to help anybody else?
I know.
You see, and this is why. So, you know, there's nothing special about me apart from just another person doing the right thing. You know what I mean? And I'm happy with that. You know what I mean? Because this is not like a game show. This is a serious issue. I mean, you probably noticed at the beginning, Neil was on a mission. He was muting and blocking so many people because we don't tolerate any nonsense. Anybody triggering anybody, we don't have it. Because this is not a show. If they want a show, they could go to another live. At least be respectful. Come in, listen if you want. You want to give us your advice, your opinion, great. If you want to learn about this, you want to see evidence, and you want some clarity, yeah, ask us. We'll give you it. We'll hand it to you. But what will happen is the doors that we're opening, once that door's open, it's like, how deep does a rabbit hole go? Once we open that rabbit hole with fact findings and evidence, nobody goes back because they can't. They see what's happening. But you've gone through a little bit of experience. But, you know, I am going to say it, if you ever think that you want to help and support if you can, in your spare time.
I can.
If you can, the only thing I'm going to say is, like I tell everybody else, if you go on the website,
I'm going to have a look. Honestly, I don't want to, like, I wanted to click on and see, you know, look at your profile, but I'm too nosy listening to like, I don't want to miss it.
You're going to see a whole load. However, the website's getting a whole load of revamp and getting done. You'll see a lot of it on TikTok. You've got LCS News on Facebook. My full name is Aurangzeb Latif. Neil, do us a favour. Put my full spelling in the thing. You can see me on Facebook as well. I've got nothing to hide.
No, but I'm just saying. Obviously, I'm not on social media. It makes me ill. And obviously, like I said, this was my son's old phone, and he had TikTok. So this is not even real name. I'm not giving my name.
But let me tell you something. God Almighty works in mysterious ways. You came on here. Look at this for a reason. So that's my name if you ever want to check anything. I'm very open.
No, I don't think anything's bad. I think it's the best TikTok I've ever watched, like, ever. because it makes
Well,
sense to me.
sister,
You know what I mean?
you stay there. I've got somebody else. Let me start getting them going again. Click, pick. Young man, can you unmute yourself?
Can I just, how do I turn myself off? Can you, get me out.
Well, you want to mute yourself?
So can everyone hear me? Yeah.
I could mute you if you want, but if you want to unmute yourself, you got to press your box, and a box will come up. Then you unmute yourself. But I'll mute you now. There you go. I've muted you, so you got a bit of privacy there. But when you want to dive in, touch that box again, and a bit of a platform will turn up, and it'll have a speaker sign with a line through it. Touch that, and it'll unmute yourself. Okay. Click, pick, young man. I don't think you're at work tonight, so where are you?
No, I just finished work. I have. Yeah, the clocks went forward 1 hour, didn't they? So, yeah. I didn't listen too much of what you've said. I got a generous consensus of what you were on about anyhow, and what you've done is informed a lot of people, and now people are starting to think about everything, not just about you exposing the social services and paedophile rings. You're exposing a bigger picture of what's really happening in this country at this present moment, you know, which is very important, you know. It's very important people know about and help you and help other people who are going through the same thing as you've been through, you know. I think it's very important. It's a really good work you're doing, you know. And people, you're always going to get these doubters and these negative people and these trolley type style people to defame your name, you know. You're always going to get that. But I listened to a bit this when I was just about to go to work, and you were explaining to people, and it's really good what you're doing. You're doing a really good job, you know, and I'm always here, happy to support you in whatever you do, you know.
No, brother, I really appreciate everybody, you know, even though I was saying there, I need sisters, it's just as important I need my brothers come forward, because there's different work for the brothers and different work for my sisters. Because this issue is, like you said, it gets a lot deeper. I know we had somebody earlier on tonight was going into the deep, but I don't want to go into the deep in this level, because right now there's vulnerable people. I don't trigger them. It's overwhelming. They need help and support, so I don't want to trigger them. That's not the way it's done. We've got to be compassionate. We've got to understand. We've got to reason with this, understanding what it is. And this is why it says on there, breaking silence on the broken system, phase 1. And once I've got enough people to deal with this part of it, you watch what happens on the phase 2 and phase 3 and phase 4. But we're going to break it down in layman languages. In other words, in a language that you could speak, that anybody could understand it. But also, like this, if anybody wants any further clarity, here's the evidence. Here's the evidence. We won't just talk about, we'll back ourselves with evidence and give you fact findings. Leave the crap findings for the system, what they run on, because that's what they run on. All a load of crap. Okay, so we need to deal with it with being transparent as well with everything. So I really appreciate my brother. I mean, look, it's been a few weeks. You've actually been coming on our private Zooms, and actually you've even seen some information that I've been slowly drip feeding you. And there's a mountain of it. Let me tell you something. There's a mountain of it. If I put it together, which I'm trying to do, which I'll need a bit of support, because I've got so much that once I've done the work once, put it together in the format that it needs to be done, I'm actually going to release it at that point. That set of documentation, information, audio, video, evidence of manufacturing documents, manufacturing concerns, manufacturing crimes, committing perjury, malfeasance in public, everything will come out. But I'm going to hand it to the public first, because the system is a shambles. And to change the system is to save the public first, not to save the frigging system. That's not my job. If you remember, there's a video called Meeting with Government Bodies, where there was two councillors and they wanted to interview me. Why was I speaking up? And in that video, if you actually listen to it, they intimidate me, threaten me, and blackmail me. You would never have believed all this if I never videoed it, and now it's on public media so everybody can see it. And the same two councillors knew about the crimes taking place in their departments from a child, which is the document that you've already got and Mr. Too Busy's already got. So they'd entrapped, yet they've been trying to tell me in the courts to take their video down because they don't want you to know the truth. And like everything about the truth, as far as I'm concerned, is coming out. MPs, councillors, I don't care. There's no exemption of colour, creed, religion, titles. None of that makes no difference to me. And this is where we're at with it. But brother, I want to say thank you very much for yourself, because the more people wake up, the more people support each other, the more we're going to get further. And this is what matters. Everything else is here say, there say. This is what they work on, not us. We don't do that. You know, Pauline, if she was here, she would say, we strictly work on fact findings, not crap findings. And it's true. This is what we do. We don't talk about anything. We don't go into it. And there's no suspicions or curiosity. No. Everything we talk about, and this is why I've got to do that. Once I've done it, you will see police officers breaking court orders, social services breaking court orders. They choose who breaks court orders. But the right person, if they broke anything, which in this particular case, you're not going to find that breaking anything. They had to they had to manufacture crimes, they had to manufacture concerns. That's what you're going to find. So it's going to be game over. So I know we've gone over, which is a brilliant, I don't know if it's brilliant, Christ, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I did say to Carly and Thingy, they said 1 o'clock, but then the clocks went forward, so we skipped an hour, and now we just done another hour. But look, at the end of the day, love and respect to every single person. But let's see if anybody wants to add on anything. I don't know, let's start with Mr. Too Busy for you. How about you? Start with you, and then Rafia, sister.
Yeah, assalamu alaikum or hello everyone that is listening. Guys, we just need to smell the coffee now and wake up. Like, we can't stress it enough, you know, we stress it all the time. There's the coffee, guys. Smell it and wake up. Like, right now is the time to not, you know, look away or think it's not of my problem or anything, because right now it's happening to other people's kids, and mothers and, you know, fathers are broken. Tomorrow's can happen to us, and, you know, in 10, 15 years time when it's all out, and it's will be out in the public much sooner, but when it's all out there and stuff, and people are saying, oh, why didn't we know about it sooner and stuff? But it is, we are telling you now, you know, you know about it. Whoever's listening right now, you know what's going on. If you don't, come and look into it. Come on, just make that first step. And once you know what you're talking about, once you know what's going on, like you said in the rabbit hole, you're not going to look back. As soon as I find out about it, it's something that I just want to know more. And, you know, the more you know about it, the more you literally you just can't. It's something that will, every day you'll wake up and it'll be on your mind. Because that's, for these kids that are suffering, they're going through it every single day. And they're going through it alone. Right now, we're on a platform where we're talking to people. So these people, these kids, let's say, they're going through it alone. These mothers that it's happening to, they're struggling alone. These fathers that are going through it alone. So, you know, guys, we just need to come together and unite. Come on, unite. Let's get together and unite. And I can't stress enough, you know, how much this work is not just for now, it's for the future, you know. Whatever you're doing right now, you know, it's for the future. And, you know, there's so much work that Brother Rangy has already put into this, you know. And soon, very soon, you know, it's all going to be out in the public eye. But before that, we just need to get everything sorted out. Guys, just, you know, the last thing I want to say is just everyone get involved. Share it. If you don't know, you know, can't talk about it or whatever, I don't know much about it, just share it. It takes one button, a click of a button. You can share everything else on TikTok. Share it on other platforms. Share the you know, information that you do know, and yeah, let's just stand together, guys.
Yeah, thank you very much, brother. Look, one thing I'm just going to add on there. Somebody mentioned this to me about a year ago. A time is coming where children are going to start saying, we were going through all this. Where was the grown-ups? We were being mistreated, abused, passed around from one pillar to another pillar to another pillar. And don't even get me into the kind of atrocities they're going through. But where was the grown-ups? And it's our job, it's our duty to protect the vulnerable. This is the main message that people need to understand. Rafia, sister, can I get you in next, my sister, please?
Same thing as Busy said, it's just a little bit of support you can give. Just obviously from someone who works with children, obviously as Busy knows as well, I've actually lost my son when he was only 9 months old. So these sort of topics always do hit hard. Mother's Day, birthdays, Eid, all of this. But some parents, they are taking the children for the wrong reason. And if we can't help them, then who can? And I'll always be here to support.
Sister, thank you very much. Absolutely. Thank you very much. Honest to God. May Allah bless everybody. Let's go through everybody. If anybody, because I think we're going to make it last, we'll go to half past. Neo, Kali, is that all right? Half past?
You're a bit cheeky, Rangy. You snuck 3 hours out of me tonight. But yeah, that's fine.
No, we missed an hour. They skipped it. That was the timeline fault.
All right, then. No, you're fine, honestly. I love it. It's good tonight. I love the unity in the room. Thank you to everyone involved. Keep going. 15 minutes.
Right, okay, so 3:30 we will close down tonight. We will be back up, I believe it'll be Wednesday. I do more, but there's a lot of work, a lot of people messaging, emailing, and that's where really we need the help and support. And so this is something that I will say, that if anybody wants to help and support, here's the email address at the bottom there, or the website, www.lcs.news. LCS stands for Liars, Criminal Storytellers. But if you go on that website, go to a part where it says contact us, and in the subject, if you want to help and support now, understanding the cause that it is, the problems that it is, just put on there that you can help and support. And in the message, you can just put down how you can help and support your own skill sets. Even if it's admin work, but it's only 1% of effort I need. I don't need a lot. If you need help and support, it's limited what we could do. However, we will still try to do whatever we can to guide you the best way we can, trying to get more links, trying to communicate with the whole country. Is what we're doing, to try to do what we can. So there's two sides of it. If you want to see even journalist side, so there's so many parts that you could actually get involved with, which would be appreciated. Now, even though, on here we do a lot of sugarcoating, due to safeguarding child protection, you can request to get involved into not sugar-coated side of it, which will be private Zooms. We have that once a week, every week at the moment, because there's just so many topics, and we could thrash things out there, but that's a lot more deeper. So please have it in your heart to think to yourselves what you need, what you can do, and let's do something about it. But what we're going to do is for 15 minutes, I just want people, you know what, for 15 minutes, I'm going to have everybody have their last sayings, because majority of the people that are in the boxes have been listening for a while, understanding for a while, because the last messages always comes from the heart of people after understanding, learning, thrashing it out. So this is why I'm going to say, if there's another two people that want to come in to have their final words, please, this is the opportunity to get in, so I could just do everybody, because I'd rather spend that 15 minutes purely just for yourselves to get involved, to have your last sayings. Okay, so you got a minute to request while I'm going to go through every single person now. Okay, so this way we could add everybody on. Rafia, sister, no, I've just said it. I just had you saying, but I just was getting you to just add anything if you wanted to ask anything. But can you just give us your final sayings for this evening, please?
Honestly, I'm glad to help, and I'm glad to always be here to support, and I'm glad that I've actually found you thanks to the pain in the ass, Mr. Busy. But I'm glad to find you through him because.
Well, sister, thank you very much. But one thing is for sure, Mr. Too Busy is not busy no more. He's going to be busy doing what he needs to do here. So what I'm going to do is, if I could go to ClickPick, can I get you, my brother, your final final talk or final information for the night, final words of wisdom from yourself, my brother? ClickPick. ClickPick, are you there? Okay, we'll come back to him. Yeah, I know he's there because he just finished work. Mr. Too Busy, can I get you next, my brother?
Yes, Assalamu alaikum. Basically, I just want to say, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for all those broken mothers, fathers, broken children, and all those people that are suffering, that haven't yet even shared their story or have not got a voice to speak and are suffering in silence. But you know what? Allah and God is always going to be with you. So whenever you feel like you haven't got anyone to talk to, or you haven't got the strength to talk to a human yet, speak to Allah, ask Him for guidance, ask Him to bring good people into your life, and inshallah, you know, I pray that everyone who has suffered gets to speak about their story, because you know what, there's so much people that are still suffering that are unknown, you know, John Doe that we don't know about, and you know, really, if this more than for people who have spoken, this more for the people that are, you know, alone right now, that, you know, don't probably use TikTok, you know, the grandmas that had their kids taken away from them, you know, like 50 years ago, and, you know, there's so much people that suffered already, like, you know, just not in the 21st century or 20th century, before that in the 80s, 70s, 60s, you know, so, like, I pray, you know, that one day they're going to find the ease and they're going to get rewarded for their patience and for, you know, their gratitude and gratefulness for everything that they're going through. And yeah, just can't stress enough from the heart how everyone please just get involved. Like, just as when, you know, something happened and everyone's supporting Black Lives Matter, all lives matter. We're all, you know, a man, a present, a gift from God, you know, and belong back to God.
You switched up for a second. Sorry. Back on. It might be a call coming in.
Nah, I'm here. I don't know what happened. But so far, I just want to say, like, the person live. So yeah, and just want to say thank you so much, Bro Rangy, for having me on and for being able to share my views and yeah, to be able to get more people in and stuff. And yeah, I'm ready to learn more and just yeah, just get this, you know, get this out there, man. Well, thanks 100%. A lot, everyone.
Thank you very much, my brother. There's only one thing that I'm going to add for the brother. He mentioned about the story, so I'm going to explain to you very simply. If you're caught in the firing line right now, it's something that I will suggest not to go public with it because it'll only get used against you as a weapon. However, I know there's thousands of people out there that want to share their stories. That is something that we are definitely taking on. In a number of ways, we could do your story, we could do the podcast, we could do all that 100%. And we're there for you for that 100% because your words needs to be out. And one of the main reasons for that is people will actually see what's actually happening. They will learn with what's actually happening. Because this has been covered up for such a long time from the 60s, rightfully, what Mr. Too Busy said, it's been going on for a long time. But there's a lot of talk we could go into how they did it from the 60s and 70s and 80s, how they kept changing the narratives, because we know this now, you see. This is evidenced out there. So, you know, that's something that I want you to understand with what I've just said, because it's easy to be in pain. It's easy to start going on the platform, start speaking about it. But if you're in the firing line, please, it will only get used against you as a weapon. And I'm not there to put anybody at risk. I will 100%, we will not be putting you at risk. We don't want that. But if you're outside of that, even if you go on the website, you want to tell the story, you can do that, 100%. Did you want to add anything there? You just unmute yourself.
I just wanted to say as well, if anyone's got any other evidence of their personal case or anything that's happened, and you know they see negligence and stuff, and if they want to, you know, share that with us, because the more evidence we have, like I said, you know, the more stronger it is. You know what I mean? Because the evidence and facts speak for itself. You know. So if everyone's got any evidence of negligence or anything, you know, that you feel like, you know what, that didn't add up, or, you know, because they always slip up. Thing is that they think they're smart, but they always slip up.
Yeah, so when it comes to evidence, information-wise, one of the things that we have already been putting together is we're looking to do a class action, but we're going to do it for everybody in one go as much as we can. So the more people come forward, we could help you to the degree to what we can. Even if it comes to, we'll help you make an affidavit of truth, put your information together. And I personally, I'm going to take this role on myself. I'm more than happy to take the whole bundle and take it to the courts, and then the high courts and the Supreme Courts, and then the European courts. I do not care. Why? Because everybody's child matters. Every one of these matter. And this is the attitude everybody needs to have. But he's 100% right. This is what we need to do. Divided, 100%, there you go. Divided, we fall. United, we stand. And united, we stand, we win. We save children. We will be able to change the whole nation. Click Pick, can you unmute yourself now? If you're still there, undo yourself. Otherwise, LBA, can you just unmute yourself, my sister, please?
Am I there? Am I there?
You are loud and clear. Just your last words for the evening, please, sister.
Obviously, it's my first time ever talking on TikTok, and I've really enjoyed it, but I just think you guys are doing amazing. And I just think there's 3 sides to every story.
Yeah.
1 is your side, 2 is their side, and 3 is the truth. And you can't argue with that. But yeah, I'm a bit shy as well, you know. I don't like talking.
I think you've done very well. I think you're very brave. And to be honest, it felt like you're a speaker, to be honest.
I think, you know, do you really think you're not good at anything in the world? Then you just think, hang on, I'm amazing because I've done all this. Sorry. I've done quite a lot of stuff like keeping my paperwork for 20 years. How cool am I? And then, do you know when, like, even the council make mistakes or someone's made a mistake and then there it is, black and white. And that's what I've been doing. Yeah. It was nice for you all to accept me. I don't even know what to say. Oh, she was fine now. I fell down the stairs and everything because of that woman. It was funny. I thought, I need my charger. Fell down the stairs. Oh, God.
No, but sister, I want to say thank you so much for joining us. And I'll be honest with you, it did help that sister because I know she'll have been reading the messages. You're seeing how she was in the circumstances she's in, you know what I mean? And that's where my focus is. Because if she's suffering, you know her children are suffering. And if we can't do anything for our sisters and our children today,
yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just think, like, obviously, with, like, the local authorities and social services and counsellors, and they think they're above you, but at the end of the day, we're all people, treat us the same.
Yeah.
Just be normal. Like, and then everyone's suffering from mental health, and I think they're making us deteriorate. But that's not going to happen with me. I'm a fighter.
No, but this is the thing. We need you to teach the other women how to stay strong while we're trying to fight as much as we can to get the system changed and also give her the right support. I mean, there's thousands, tens of thousands of women like this right now. Every day this is the same. There's no difference to it. But sister, I want to say thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
I will be joining you again. Well, thank you.
No, please. Please, it's been a pleasure having you on. ClickPick, thank you very much. ClickPick, are you still there? ClickPick? No. Mr. Too Busy, you muted yourself there. There must have been some reason for that.
I was just going to say, LBA, thanks for coming on. And like I said, I seen it as well. Do you know your comments? That made a real difference to that young lady, to that woman that was on, because I was seeing her like when she's talking as well, and she read the comments. And secondly, come back on Wednesday, 8 p.m.
No, thank you very much, brother. So what I'm going to do is, if I could get Sister Carly next, please.
Of course you can, Rangy. Can I just say to the ladies that came up tonight into the panel, you've shown such courage, and let's continue on that strength and stand together. Welcome to follow me. I probably followed you anyway. Come into my inbox. We'll just make our own little community if that's how you feel safer. I mean, I'm up for everybody, but not everyone's as confident as I am. To be honest, I've been 12 years fighting the system, and I lost my children. So that's how I'm here. That's why I'm here fighting for you all. But the energy in the room tonight, other than that, has been absolutely amazing. So can I just thank everybody and everybody in the comments. You guys know the whole system is designed to disconnect us from our intuition. That makes us easier to manipulate. So we need to fight that on a daily. So for me, I want to focus on the community, and I suggest that you'll do the same. Don't let vulnerable mothers walk past you. Try and show some compassion and a little bit of time. It doesn't cost anything. Just show support. Like, don't mock people that you can see are vulnerable. It just needs a little bit of love. Just a little bit of love from everybody. I hear a lot as well, people threaten to ring social services on each other, and that's just nonsense now. Like, people need to be re-educated, because malicious reports are how these monsters get in the door, and that's how our vulnerable families end up broken. And I know that's probably a lot of how they get in there, Rangy. I don't know 100% all of it. And also, another point raised tonight was there's a lot of like diagnoses and stuff within children given by the doctors. Now, I'm not a medical professional, none of us are here, but what I'd suggest is do some more research into that, because there might be another answer. That's all I'm saying. I post a lot of stuff on my TikTok that I find useful. That is only facts, to be fair. So if you want to take a look at it, it could be quite helpful. So if anyone's in here tonight has any problems, then do go onto the LCS News website and submit a ticket, and we're here for you. And just know that we're not alone. We are all together, and we will find our power. And I just want everyone to know that we fully respect you for coming. Please share these lives with everyone that you can. And we just want to find love, peace, and our freedom. And that's it. And I'm going to bed now, Rangy.
No, thank you very much, sis. Thank you very much. Neil, brother, can I get you in final, please, my brother? Now, I know you're there, so stop pretending you're not there.
Couldn't press my microphone thing, it wouldn't come on. I'm still here, mate, of course I am. Yeah, big up to all the parents that have come in tonight and shared their story. It's not the easiest thing to do in the world, but necessary sometimes in this sort of time that we find ourselves, you know. But I just want to thank everyone that's come in tonight, and like Carly said, reach out to us if you need help or support on the LCS News website. Just submit a ticket and put your information in there, and we'll get straight back to you as soon as we can. We are a bit sort of overwhelmed at the moment, so bear with us if we don't get back to you within the day, you know, because it's we're still working through stuff. Very, very busy time now. But yeah, big up, Randy. Lots of love, mate. And done a good job, mate. And see you on Wednesday.
Yeah, see you on Wednesday.
All right.
Yeah, so For me, it's very, very simple. I always finish up with the same thing. And I just remind the very same thing, you know, because I don't walk away from the reality. And I want to remind people there are women, there are children who are mistreated and abused every single day. They're victims of these kind of heinous crimes, and they're all out there on their own, suffering in silence in virtually every town and city in the country. Now, the devil doesn't take a day off. How can I take a day off? How can we? So we need to do whatever we need to do. But I want to say a big thank you very much for every single person who has been coming in the comments throughout the whole evening. I want to say a big thank you very much for all the people that were brave enough to get into here and click pick. Are you still there or are you asleep? He's asleep. I'll take that as asleep. So, you know, I want to say a big thank you very much for every single person here, especially this sister here. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. She doesn't even know. She's very good in talking and speaking and confident. You see, it's all coming out with everybody, which is what we want. We want people to understand that. But I'm going to leave it at that. I want to say love and respect to every single person. Thank you very much for joining. Get ready for Wednesday night. There will be a lot that will be going on Wednesday night as usual. You know, we don't have a simple night. And everything is transparent. Everything is open. And if anybody feels that they know a professional or a police officer and we're talking about these heinous crimes and you think that they need to know about it, please ask them to join us. They feel free to join. There's no issues. If they want to get in touch with us, they want to learn about the reality, they want to know about the cover-up, everything we're talking about is criminal or the wrong. So they can then get involved because we're not holding back from anybody, okay? And we love to get help and support from everybody. So for ladies and gentlemen, from me, from the team, from everybody in the boxes here, I want to say thank you very much, so much for joining us. A lot of love and respect to everybody. And let's call it a night. And I'm going to leave it with good night. God bless. Stay safe. Stay strong. And see everybody on Wednesday night, 8 p.m. sharp. Good night. God bless everyone. Bye.